Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the, just the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Wondery.
This week in Festus, Missouri, some seemingly ideal lives are shattered when affairs, lies, and small-town cops mix together to make a deadly cocktail. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, immensely for joining us this week. We're so excited for this week. Another crazy edition. Hope you enjoyed last week's. I don't even know what to say about last week. It was insane. That was
a story. It's real.
One of the strangest stories we've ever encountered, and anyone's ever encountered, honestly, because it was just nuts. If you missed last week, don't skip that one. Go back and check it out because it is bonkers beyond bonkers. But thank you, everyone, for all you've done for us this week, especially your reviews. If you haven't done it yet, please give us 5 stars on Apple Podcast, that purple icon, or Stitcher, wherever you listen. It helps. Just say something. Say you're following instructions or whatever. It doesn't really matter. It helps drive you up the charts. So do that. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com right now for everything small town murder and crime and sports. Yeah. And if you're not listening to crime and sports, listen to crime and sports. It is, we're going to tell you it's hilarious. If you would like to hear Jimmy throw up from laughing, listen to this week's crime and sports because it got really off the rails. Yeah. And we almost lost Jimmy there. He was having some problems.
And the cause of it wrote to us.
And he did. It's amazing. It's hilarious.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, check out crime and sports. It's a nutty affair. All sorts of new merchandise up. And especially, though, get your tickets to live shows.
Absolutely.
Live shows coming up March 13th and 14th. We are in San Francisco at Cobb's doing the late show.
Yeah.
It's a Friday, Saturday night late show. And the Friday night's just about sold out, and the Saturday night is moving quickly.
You better hurry up.
Get those tickets right now. Then we're in Detroit, and those are almost gone too.
Right.
And in Cincinnati, which are also almost gone, in March 27th and 28th. And then in May, we're going to be in Austin and Oklahoma City on the 8th and 9th. Portland, that second show in Portland is almost sold out. Last
Hurry
I saw
up.
on Monday, it had like 8 tickets left. So I'm not sure if there's any left now.
Right.
Get those right now if you want to there. And all the other ones, please get your tickets. They go fast. Like
They do.
there's a show in December in Minneapolis that is like 70% sold out right now, which is insane. So
Right.
thank you guys for getting
Doesn't
those
make any
tickets.
sense, but I love it.
We love it. Thank you. We're so excited to come to all these places and see. Well, we're happy to see you. We're not excited to come to a lot of these places because let's face it, you don't like it either. You live in awful places. We all do. No one wants to come to Phoenix either.
No.
Trust me. So,
Especially not in August.
not in August, but thank you guys for that. And that is, by the way, the show where the new Small Town Murder will be in October.
Right.
We'll give you the date next week, October at the Tempe Improv.
It's beautiful that time of year.
We're going to do a crime and sports Small Town Murder one night.
Great.
Get your tickets to those and check it out and come see us there. We cannot wait. If you want to be a hero of ours, a producer, very easy to do. Head over to patreon.com/crime and sports or head over to PayPal and use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. And every dime is amazingly so appreciated. We can't even tell you. And on top of that, this week, tomorrow,
Right.
Friday, we will be releasing another Patreon episode for Small Town Murder, another bonus, and it's a wild one too, of course, as they all are, and as that goes. But let's do the disclaimer, get it out of the way, and get right into the story because it's crazy. This is a comedy show.
It is.
It's a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
We're comedians, so we're going to make fun of things, and there's murders involved.
You bet.
That's Small Town Murder, so you can expect that. And there's going to be jokes all around that stuff. We're going to joke about small towns. We're going to joke about like a police force that can't get their shit together to convict a murderer or at least arrest a murderer. We make fun of murderers for doing crazy things because that's what the show's about. That's all fine. What we go out of our way not to do, though, is we try not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags.
That's right.
That's how it goes there. We think that makes everything wonderful and okay. And otherwise, we're just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
These things happen.
They do.
Murders happen in the world, and we can't stop them.
No.
And if we stop doing the show tomorrow, people will still die.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Right.
And then some people, this is how people relax. This is how people unwind. If you have a dark sense of humor, this is it, man. And it's sorry. We're not going to apologize for having a dark sense of humor, and you shouldn't either.
No.
Some people will try to make you feel guilty for enjoying something dark, and you shouldn't. Enjoy what you enjoy and live your life because someday you might also be murdered. It could happen. So do you want to not have enjoyed your life or do you want to just have a good time? So with that said, if you don't think you never want jokes and true crime together, then you should probably take a hike now.
Yeah.
Let's
get out of the car, man.
I don't want to hear you complain, but if you think that you want to have a good time and hear a crazy story, then I think it's time to sit back and shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's go on a trip, Jimmy.
Great.
What do you say? Let's do this. Let's get out of here. We're coming from Arizona, so
this
packing
is where
up,
we are.
packing up the home base, getting everything going. It was a nice short trip last week for us.
In the car.
Come on, Benny, get in the car.
Get your barrel ass over
let's
here.
go. He hops right up in there. We're going to go all the way to Missouri this week.
Okay.
Checking it out in Missouri, going to Festus, Missouri.
Never heard of it.
Which sounds like a type of sore.
Yeah.
I have a Festus on my arm, and it's
weepy.
It's a problem. I got to see the doctor. I can smell it.
Yeah.
Can you smell it? It's not good.
I can see it.
It sounds like an infection.
It's wet.
Infection, Missouri. That doesn't sound good. It's in central Missouri on the eastern border over there.
Yeah.
It's near St. Louis. It's about 40 minutes to St. Louis.
Okay.
About 3 hours and 45 minutes to Memphis if you go the other direction.
Okay.
Take it south. And then it's about 30 minutes to Bonne Terre, Missouri, which was episode 109, our last Missouri episode.
That one was fun.
March of 2019. You believe that was a year ago?
Wow.
Insane, right? So this is in Jefferson County, Missouri.
Okay.
It's 63028's the zip, or the area, zip code, 636 area code. A lot of 3s and 6s in there. 6 square miles. It's just all 6s.
Oh, boy.
It's about that.
You don't want that many 6s around. That's dangerous.
It's a lot of 6s. Everything.
I've heard religiously that's not positive.
It lines all up here, especially in the Bible Belt. There's got to be connotations. I'm not sure. Town motto.
Yeah.
They're trying to, they know this doesn't sound good.
No.
So they're trying to make it sound better. Motto, quote, not as gross as it sounds. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I got to say. Right away, you got to diffuse the problems. I feel like maybe that's it. So the history, I'll give you a brief kind of a history here. They used to be under Spanish authority back in the 1700s, this area, and then settlers were allowed by the Spanish to have a certain amount of land here and there, kind of most of it along the Mississippi River there. And most of the earliest settlers, this was originally the Louisiana Territory.
Got it.
Obviously, this is what Thomas Jefferson purchased.
Part of that purchase.
Lewis and Clark went and just check out the new shit we bought. The equivalent of going up in the attic of a new house.
Right.
Let's see if anything got left up there.
See how far it stretches.
An old newspaper. Look at that. Look at that's from when Kennedy got shot.
Anything say anything historic that's worth some money up there?
Let's check it out here. Now, many people here. There's a lot of French people in this area.
Yeah.
To begin with, for some
Gross.
reason. It's all of a sudden not a razor in the place. No. Just hairy and stinky.
Everybody could use some Germans.
Yeah, I don't think we have many French listeners, so fuck off. We have a lot of British listeners now that are like, yeah, fucking baguette eating cocksuckers. There's
white flag waving fucks.
Fucking angry as shit over there, hating the French. Nothing I love more than the English. Is just derision of the French. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if the French are fine. They don't do anything to me. I don't have anything against the French, but the fact that they hate them so much is hilarious to me. It's just so funny. It's so funny. It's like, and they're right next to each other. It's like a one state hating another with vehemence, and
it's Alabama hating Mississippi.
Yeah, you're all
for what?
Yeah, for what? But they're like so different in terms of countries.
Right.
You don't get states that are right next to each other that are so drastically different, except for like maybe Arizona and California,
right?
Possibly, but you know. So I guess it does happen. Sorry about that. Never mind, French.
You're waving that white flag. We can see your hairy pits.
Yeah.
France.
Oh, France says they do get a bum rap.
They take a beating for
nothing. They get a bum rap on the military
Yeah.
thing. They do, actually.
Meanwhile, they make some pretty decent food. Everything's so sweet.
Well, the cuisine is everything. Everything in cuisine is all from French cooking.
Yeah.
Like they figured out how to do shit. Like basically,
to apologize. I'll make you dinner.
All fancy cuisine is. Meh. I do not like you. I have been rude this entire time.
Yeah.
You will eat my cheese and it will be delicious, and that's it.
And we will make up.
You will enjoy. Okay. Okay. So Festus got a post office in 1883.
Oh.
So the Festus Post Office.
Right.
Sounds wonderful. Festus and Crystal City are known as the Twin Cities.
No, they're not.
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe in this area.
Minneapolis, St. Paul. I know better.
There's a lot of other Twin Cities, but we're the Twin Cities. Festus and Crystal City.
Gross.
So in 1843, a Michigan company did a search to find land with a lot of minerals in Missouri. And a mineralogist found silica sand on the east side of the Platten Creek in 1868. And they analyzed these samples in England, and they determined them to be of superior quality for glass manufacturing.
Right.
So they have it all here.
And now we can ship all your shit in these little packets.
Yes.
That's what that is, right? That's that shit that says do not eat?
Yeah, that's the shit that keeps your
silica
mold
gel?
out of your... Yeah, but this is a sand that they would make into...
Got it.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
so they can crystallize it and make it. Got it.
They make good glass here.
Okay.
So a Captain Ebenezer Ward, a guy from Detroit, founded the American Plate Glass Company in a town he called New Detroit.
Oh.
On the Mississippi River, because he has
Detroit.
no imagination.
Yeah.
And he called his company Detroit Glass Stuffs.
Yeah.
So, they had to clear away brush and build homes for employees and family. They took it was just an area of forest and things like that. And they said, clear it all. We're building a factory and we're making glass here now.
Oh, boy.
So it was a whole, thing. They had to get it done now.
Yeah.
In 1877, they sold the glass plant, glass plant, to Crystal Plate Glass Company of St. Louis, and the town grew into basically a reputation as the glass town.
Got it.
The other town there, Crystal City, and they changed that town's name to Crystal City from New Detroit.
Is this where all the best crystal comes from?
I mean, I guess
you
so.
Assume so.
Crystal Plate Glass, it was a company town. Basically, they named it Crystal City.
Yeah.
And Crystal Plate Glass was,
fascinating.
Owned the town.
Yeah.
No saloons were there. They had no saloons, non-employee homes, or private enterprises. The town was
just glass,
owned and run by this company, and
they were the Green Bay Packers.
That was it. But I mean, they were the law and the everything. You weren't allowed to move to this town if you didn't work for that company.
That's wild.
It's fucking insane. So the Festus was first called Tanglefoot.
Oh, that's no good.
Which sounds awful.
It does.
Tanglefoot?
I don't know which one's worse.
Tanglefoot.
Is it?
Well, I don't know. That's
Festus.
Well, I feel like when you get Tanglefoot, then it develops into Festus after a while. It's one of those things, it's turning Festus now. Oh shit! I had I had Tanglefoot last week, and those things go when you don't treat it.
Now it leaks.
Now it comes in, it's turned into Festus. Shit.
I should have seen the Crystal City doctor.
Yeah, well, Tanglefoot, they said the residents wanted to have a more dignified name.
Oh.
They said, this isn't Tanglefoot. This sounds like... This doesn't sound dignified.
Okay.
So the legend has it, which means it's probably not true, but usually funny. Legend says a woman named Elizabeth Posh, who's a local business owner, opened her Bible and declared that the first proper name that she would come upon would be Tanglefoot's new name, and that was Festus for Acts 25:1.
What is
I
that?
know nothing about the Bible.
I wonder what that is. What's that verse?
I don't know. Festus.
That's the beginning word, I imagine.
If thou don't use Neosporin, thou shalt develop thy Festus. Thine Festus, I believe, is how it's stated biblically.
Right.
I don't know if that's if it's a metaphor.
Right.
I'm not a scholar on this type of thing, but I believe that's how it goes. If thou foot tangled.
Yeah.
So Festus in 1887, they became, it became a town, and most of the people here they still worked at the glass plant. They just worked they lived over there instead. In 1895, the Pittsburgh Plate Glass Company acquired the factory and the town and everything like that. And Crystal City was basically people weren't allowed to purchase private lots and, turn it into a real town until 1906.
My Christ. What is that, 20 years?
Owned and run by this company.
Yeah.
It was absolutely nuts. And, so this is where we're coming from. It's an industrial town that then once that kind of goes away, more people move in. They have to find another identity.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works.
That is a real bummer about tying your identity to a fucking industry.
To one company.
You don't know if that's going to die.
Yeah, you don't know
shit about.
Well, Jesus, someone could manage it poorly, and then what? Your whole town's going down?
Yeah, forget about new technology coming through. Just
poor management.
Who's your CEO?
Yeah, sometimes businesses suck because they're run by people.
Enron?
People suck. That's what I mean. So I found some reviews of this joint here. Nothing terrible, but well, no, they're pretty bad. Okay, let's get into it. 1 star. Found 2 1-star reviews. This is amazing. Quote, stupid, period. Lamest, in quotes, city ever. That's another period. It's another sentence. Steer clear, period.
Yep.
Seriously, period. So this motherfucker he's not kidding.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting out of this. People here are incredibly rude. They are mean to you for no reason whatsoever, and there's nothing to do unless you go to church, do drugs, or drink. If you don't do any of these things, good luck finding something to do. There's always a bad smell of some sort, and you can hear a traffic noise no matter what you do. No good restaurants either. Your choices are either McDonald's, Captain D's, or Chinese takeout.
Okay.
So
he's bummed.
It sounds fucking bleak there. It sounds bleak.
That's that seafood joint, Captain D's,
is
right?
It? I don't know what that is.
I think it's like Long John Silver's.
Oh, is it?
I think so. It was like Captain
knockoff
Bill's?
It is. Generic Long John?
I think it is.
Captain Bill's is a sandwich shop in Phoenix.
Okay, then Captain D's is the one. Yeah.
That's the one that has... Captain Bill's has like the...
Captain Bill's is delicious.
It's delicious because it's a bunch of 19-year-old girls in scantily clad outfits delivering us a mediocre sandwich. sandwich to people. It's really...
For some reason, it tastes better.
I went there once. I had no idea of that. And I'm like, why are all these girls like half naked? Like,
shut up, James.
It was just weird.
Great.
And then I realized that, and I looked around at the clientele. I'm like, that's what they do here. It's a bunch of guys. This is like a sandwich shop Hooters wannabe. Like, but they're
a bunch of dudes in construction hats.
Yeah, it was like this. I just thought it was a sandwich shop.
No.
Okay. And it was not a great sandwich. And I'm like, this is
not great.
Why is this place so packed? Very weird. So
it's delicious, James.
Jimmie's like, stop saying it's bad. I like it the most.
You're gonna cause an issue, and you're gonna make it close.
Yeah, it's just bologna on Wonder Bread, but I don't care.
Some reason it feels like it's made with love.
I don't know why. That's awesome. So here's another.
So that's what it is. It's probably. I think it's the knockoff Long John Silver.
Jesus,
Captain
that's
D.
terrible, man. That's like it's
not good.
Mr. Pibbs of fast seafood.
Right.
Fuck me. So here's another 1-star review. My family has lived here for 20 years. This is a very racist town. Okay, so stupid, lame, and racist. It's
super racist, and I've stuck around.
And
so what does that
here.
make me?
90% so-called entitled white people. The rest is variety. Okay, variety of so-called entitled white people. I don't know what that means.
Right.
A lot of meth addicts and other drugs. Extreme amounts of registered sex offenders. Jesus Christ, that's not good. I have experienced a lot of racism here and double standards. This is a place you stop and get gas. You never make this your home. Theft is rampant here. Mostly white meth addicts. I swear it sucks. 1 star. So it sounds
white methy chomos are here.
Yeah, this is a cry. Both of these are cries for help. Yeah. They're like, please save me.
Yeah,
they're like hostage fucking messages or something. Please, you can leave anytime you like.
Can.
Please go. You live in Festus. No one, we get it.
How terrible is that? You've got, when you say I live in Festus, you put the word in front of Festus, and it's even grosser.
Even more green and bubbly. It's not good. People here, population 11,910.
Yeah.
It's up 47% since 1990 because it's drivable to St. Louis. So there you go. Female, it's about average. It's a lot of average married population, average age, about 38, average, basically. Race, it's a little not quite average. Race of this town, 93% white.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes outside of St. Louis.
Yeah.
There's a few black people in St. Louis.
There are.
A couple.
Yeah. There's at least Nellie and his family.
At least a few. Yeah, that I know of. There's
and the Cardinals and the Rams.
It's a pretty. The Rams don't play in St. Louis.
You're right. They left. Maybe it's because there's not enough black people.
Yeah, that's
like,
why.
look, we're not going to do this if you won't do this.
This is terrible. If no one's going to get on board, then we're going to leave. So
I forgot about that. They've been gone for like 5 years.
Oh yeah, they have a new stadium and everything. They're doing great in L.A.
They're thriving.
They almost go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they're doing fantastic.
They're thriving, and I don't give a shit.
Super Bowl and everything. They went to the Super Bowl from another state.
I'm still sticking them there.
Fuck them. So 93% white, 3.2% black, so not very black. 0.6% Asian, 2.6% Hispanic. It's pretty white.
Yeah.
It's a white town. That person that said 90% so-called entitled white people. I don't know about the entitlement of them, but 93% white people. They weren't far off.
At least so-called.
That's so-called anyway. 30, post 9/11. You know how it goes. 37% of the people in Festus are religious. There. By the way, post 9/11 is a callback from other show. If you don't, if anyone's like, what are they talking about?
Keep listening. Yeah, you'll get there.
Go back, you'll hear it more. So, religion in this town, 37% religious. Well, so Baptists and Catholics are about equal. It's in the middle of the country, so you're going to get a mishmash. Some Pentecostals, a couple of Presbyterians, a Lutheran or two in there. 0.0% Jewish, 0.0% Muslim.
Right.
The last election, they were really up and down on their politics here too. It's weird. They go like kind of every other election. They'll go. They voted. They voted Democrat in 2000, Republican in 2004, Democrat in 2008, Republican in 2012.
It's like they all come together and they're like, you know what? Well, let's flip the script on them.
They figured it out now where they are, though. 2016 and 2012, they voted Republican both times. And last election, 65% Republican.
They went hard on it.
Yeah, they went hard on it. Unemployment rate here is about average, like the rest of the country, a little under 4%. Median household income's a little bit low. Normally, it's about $57,500. Here is just about $50,000, so not too far. A lot of people make $20,000 to $60,000. Also, a few over $100,000 here and there. A lot of jobs in for retail trade for some reason. I see tons of jobs there. I don't know why.
Tough living here.
I guess so. Cost of living here, 91 out of 100. 100 being regular or average. But the lowest thing is housing. The median home cost here, $170,200, which is low. That's a 73 out of 100.
At $20,000, you can't afford it. But
that's why there's almost 30% of the people here are renters.
Really?
So it's a lot of rentals here, and that reflects in the income. And if we've convinced you that Festus is the only thing for you, then we have for you the Festus, Missouri Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here is about $810 a month.
That's a bit high.
It seems a bit high, but I think it's in line with the average.
Competitive renting market because so many people rent. That makes sense.
It's about, I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot trailer thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what
pretty fab.
It looks like a trailer that they tried to stick on the ground and make it look like a house, but it's not.
Did they put it on like a...
it's got a lattice thing under it. It's a trailer,
They didn't
basically.
put it on a concrete foundation because they do that sometimes.
Beats the shit out of me.
That's kind of cool.
Do you get concrete for $97,000? Because that's how much it costs. Yeah. I found a foreclosure.
Yeah.
Everybody pounce on someone else's misery.
Yeah.
I found a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,128 square foot. Needs some work though, but $104,900.
Okay,
that's a lot of house for that.
It's affordable.
And then I found a 5-bedroom, 5-bath. You've been successful at the glass plant.
T-holes and B-holes, they all match up.
They all match up for everyone. 3,441 square feet. Very nice stone facade, whole deal. $525,000.
Unreal.
For that. That's your top of the market there.
Fantastic.
So not too bad. If you have the cash, it's not bad to live. You could buy a nice house there. I don't know if you want to have it there, but you can have it.
It's available.
They are there. Things to do in this place. Oh, boy. I found, first of all, the Firecracker Festival.
Oh, I'm in.
Yes.
I got 9 left.
Sounds amazing, right? Jimmy's already done that festival.
My fingers. Going, I got 9 left. Let's do it.
Friday night, there's a band called Dear Darla with fireworks, and then the Jonathan Brady Band is on Saturday night, and there's fireworks. So everybody sign up for that. And then finally, the annual Festus, Missouri Traditional Music Festival.
Yeah,
this is what I'm talking about.
Traditional music.
Oh yeah, with MC George Ports, who is the National Open Fiddle Champion. So everyone bow.
Okay.
Great food and drinks will be available during the festival with a huge craft show on both days.
Yeah.
The event is sponsored by the Festus, Missouri Parks and Recreation Board. Saturday's features, here we go. MCing, of course, George Port, said fiddle champion.
Right.
And then we have Eric Thompson, a bluegrass harmonica champion from Ironton, Missouri.
I will watch those.
He's going to... Frank Ray, who's a WSM, which sounds like some sexual thing. WSM Grand Ole Opry. I don't know if he does shit at the Grand Ole Opry.
WSM, I don't know what that means.
Joel Blon and Cajun Aces, accordion extraordinaire.
Oh my God.
Let's see someone get down with an accordion show.
They're finding the worst instruments.
Lil Miss Country.
What does she do?
Ruby Pearson is her name. I don't know.
How old is she?
Well, it doesn't say.
Oh boy.
I feel like she's like 63.
Okay, it's either
still
that
wearing
or
the same
she's
outfit.
6.
Yeah, I feel like
it's real creepy.
If John Bonet lived, she'd become this woman. She'd become Ruby Pearson, still in the same outfit. Oh man,
some short shorts, and she's 6 and making everybody uncomfortable. But her grandfather's just cheering her on.
Oh, come on, you can do it, Ruby. So, fiddle champion George Ports will also perform with his Friends of Bluegrass band. The Bronx Boys Celtic Band will be here. Some Irish guys from the Bronx, apparently, which is an odd thing in here.
It's strange.
The Howling Brothers, the Thunder and Lightning Cloggers, who's a champion clogging team.
James, I feel like if we went to this, we would have so much fun.
I would laugh so hard. If you got me stoned enough before this, this, I would have a ball.
We would have a great time.
Have a fucking great time.
Screaming, what the fuck is this?
Let's go, Plots! Let's see those fiddle chops. Call yourself a champion.
Nice shoes, fucker. Clog it up.
Clog it up.
I want to hear them.
The Worthington family will be there. Family Bluegrass Gospel Band. Can't wait for that. And then Sunday, there's more, buddy. Sunday, Fiddler's Frolic will be there.
This is a multi-day event.
Oh, it's a weekend. It's a whole thing.
Shit.
George Plotz will be back. The O'Fallon Irish Dance Troupe will be there. Punch's family, they sing bluegrass gospel. Sean Flanagan, who's a Scottish bagpiper,
you're damn right,
standing there bagpiping. Southside Creole Playboys
I want
will
to
be there.
Those guys are fingering people everywhere.
Come on over here now. No one can understand what they're asking. The Baker Family Bluegrass Band, quote, a fantastic up-and-coming bluegrass band, apparently. There's going to be a craft show both days. Free parking, $8 admission, though.
Fucking better be free.
There's camping, but no RV hookups. Let's not fucking settle in. What are we talking about here? And they even list the motels available to go to. The Comfort Inn, the Holiday Inn Express, the La Quinta, and the Quality Inn. So
the La Quinta. I like that.
That's,
usually like a hotel is really nice when they say like the Darcy, the
La Quinta,
Brown Palace, the whatever, unless it's the La Quinta. They say the La Quinta because there's only fucking one
in town. Yeah, I would believe so.
Or the Comfort Inn.
Oh, you have to apply to camp, by the way. There's a camping application on here.
Well, James, it is overrun with pedophiles.
That's true. They all want to look at Ruby fucking Pearson,
Ruby Tuesday.
Ruby Pearson's little cowboy outfit. I'm gonna go there. I think it's the Southside Louisiana, Southside Creole Playboys. They have to keep away.
We're gonna be camping.
From Ruby Pearson.
We gotta have a gander at her for 3 days.
Them damn Creole Playboys. We all fingering Ruby Pearson again. We can't have that. They fucked up the last festival. All the shit, and I ain't gonna have it again. Sons of bitches. Goddamn it. And George Ports is running the whole thing, so you can contact him if you have any complaints or bitches or moans.
He lives there, doesn't he?
Oh yeah,
that's his joint.
He lives apparently in by his address on here, Shiloh, Illinois. Illinois is right next door.
He has been hired.
Yeah.
And he is coming to run this festival.
Well, this is like on the border of Illinois. Yeah. So we're right. It's
He's the face of this shit.
Is some hickey shit down here. It's interesting. It's a goddamn bluegrass festival, I believe. Is that
George
what it is? Traditional music festival. It's not even bluegrass. I don't even know. Apparently, real like hardcore bluegrass hillbillies get offended if you call their shit bluegrass.
Oh, really?
It's very. Hunter Thompson wrote a big thing about it back in the day.
Playing bluegrass and you're
they don't like it. They don't like it. They don't want it to be called bluegrass. Apparently, I don't know.
Ever.
They say that's the commercial shit is bluegrass, and what they play is fucking hill music or whatever. Traditional music, exactly. It's traditional like hill folk music.
It's our legacy music.
God damn it!
Yeah,
Ruby, get over here.
It's our heritage.
Jesus, crime rate in this town. What we're here for, what we're interested in, property crime, right about average. Not anything abnormal. So, I mean, people complaining that it's very methy and stuff. It hasn't affected the crime rate. Okay. That's one thing. Violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and of course assault. The Mount Rushmore of crime is about average here also. So, whatever problems they are having with a methy population is not affecting.
It's on par with the rest of the country.
Seems you're no more or less methy than the rest of us. Everyone, calm down. Calm down, Festus. You're no more infected than anyone else here. So with that said, let's talk about a murder.
Fantastic.
I think we should do that. I think it's murder time.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Let's do this. Let's first of all, a lot of the good information from this came from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch from like 30 years ago. Still, good job, St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I hope you still exist. Yeah. You know how newspapers are. Yeah, I'm sure. Online, I'm sure. I'm sure online. They must have a copy of it that goes out. I don't know if this is their main paper or not. I've only spent about a day and a half in St. Louis in my whole life.
When the papers that have been around for a long time, like the Boston Globe or whatever the fuck, when they exist online and you click it and then you go to another article and then it goes, you've exhausted all of your clicks, please donate it all. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm going to pay you.
You just have to clear out your cookies from it and then refresh it. What do you think? I pay for all these newspaper sites? Are you kidding me?
It's crazy. I feel so terrible when I do it.
I'd be asking for Patreon 14 times a show. But listen, you guys don't understand.
I read so many newspapers
I'm
today.
in for $4,000 a month on newspapers and fucking, article things and everything. Been verified shit and verify background check sites and everything. Please help me.
I feel terrible not to do it because these people got to get paid too. But
a couple of them I actually do. If they're really good and I use them all the time, I'll give money to them. I'll actually subscribe to them and
create an account.
Yeah. So St. Louis Post-Dispatch, good job on you. Maybe I'll add you to the list. We'll see. For now, though, I just cleared your cookies out and kept going. Actually, I don't know. I think you could have I use an old newspaper archive site to get these. So I don't even know if they exist anymore. Anyway, let's talk about a guy here, William Nick Pagano.
Got it.
Let's start with him. Bill.
Yeah.
Billy Pagano.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the coach.
Fucking Billy. Yeah, like Chuck Pagano.
Right.
Exactly. Bill is born in 1947. He's from this area. His parents are William and Martha Pagano.
So he's a junior?
William J.
Got it.
It's a different middle name. So
Martha and her sweet ass.
Fucking everybody, half the people we talk about, if you were born between 1930 and 1960, there's a good chance your mother's name is Martha.
Yeah.
Your mother's name is probably Martha. Just is. Now they owned a market here in Crystal City's business district. Mm-hmm. They owned the old Pagano's Market, which was a little grocery type market.
Makes sense that it would be theirs.
It's theirs.
Sure.
Yeah. Strange.
Yeah.
Now, they also had a daughter, so he had a sister as well. And they're part of, there's an Italian community here from, there's a lot of Italians here because of the glassmaking industry.
Sure.
So back turn of the century and shit like that, that's when Italians started coming. Right. They would find out there's factory work here and they'd go there for it. And there's St. Louis. Wherever they found out there was factory work, that's why there's these pockets of Italians in Pittsburgh and Cleveland and all these factory towns that it was just work that they could do. You could be an immigrant and still do. That's why there's pockets of us everywhere in there. And especially with glass making, a lot of Italians from the old country actually had skills in this sort of thing when it came to
the Catholic churches and buildings themselves.
There was glass and like the marble people and all the specialists when they were building all these skyscrapers in Manhattan back in that time period. The Italians were all like they all had like the
specialty good jobs.
Yeah, because they did that shit in Italy. Right. So a lot of them were laborers too, but a lot of the designers and shit were Italian guys.
That's awesome.
So you get a bit here, a bunch of immigrants coming to find jobs in the industry, and that's kind of what they were part of, a big part of this community. And especially back then, Italians will really cluster up. they'll really cluster up, and especially if they're in a place that's totally different, like Missouri.
Yeah.
If you're in Missouri, you're going to find your shit and cluster. You know, I mean, they did it in New York, but the Italian culture kind of permeated. It collects. You know what I mean? It pools. It pools, Jimmy. That's what it does.
The grease finds the grease.
It pulls up. Plus, I can't imagine it would be fun to be an Italian in Missouri in 1950.
God,
because
Jesus, no.
I was in North Carolina in like 2000, and they'd be like, "What's your last name? You ain't from around here, are you?" And I was like, "Ooh, this is uncomfortable."
What, are you Mexican?
Yeah, it was not comfortable. And it wasn't like, "Oh, where are you from?" Like, wonder if it's interesting. It was like, "You ain't from around here, are you? You fucking, like, why are you here?"
Right.
So it was uncomfortable. Right. So I imagine you'd really want to cluster.
Make
probably
me a quesadilla, Pietragallo.
Yeah, that's what it kind of felt like. Do you think they would notice? No. They, if I was Mexican, they'd pronounce it Gallo anyway, just to be a dick.
Make me a quesadillo.
Yeah, make me a quesadillo, Pietragallo. Jesus Christ. So they lived near the store when he was a child. So his whole life kind of revolved around this little business district and his store, family store. Yeah. And seems like kind of an idyllic little life for this kid. Not a bad life. He worked at the market there. He also went to St. Pius High School in Festus, where he was a good student. He was on the track team. Old Billy here, Pagano. He's on the track team. He was in Latin. He took advanced mathematics, whatever that was back then.
Outgoing Gilbert Grape.
Yeah, he's doing great. He also played on the football team and was the punter, place kicker, and a tackle.
Oh, so he barely played on the football team.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Punter, place kicker.
He did better than I did.
I was going to say I didn't play at all, so that's fine. Hung out at the Crystal Hornet.
Okay.
Crystal Hornet's a hamburger joint.
Oh.
So you can definitely picture like Grease, basically, like this is, because we're early 60s kind of a hamburger joint here. This place was owned by the parents of a guy who will come into his life and play a very prominent role in it later on. Owned by the parents of a guy named Mark Todd. Okay. Mark Timothy Todd, they call him Tim Todd.
Oh, boy.
Now, his sister, Terry Todd.
Oh, my God.
It's a lot of T's in this. Said that I'm sorry, that's not a woman, that's a guy. Terry Todd is the brother.
A dude.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I had that mixed up in my head. For this whole time I was researching, Terry Todd in my head was a woman.
You saw it as a girl.
So Terry Todd said he remembers seeing Pagano hanging out at the family restaurant back then, and they were all. It was a small town, so everybody kind of knew each other, and the kids all knew each other, and it was that sort of thing. You knew everybody from the other high school,
right? The
rival high school.
You hated over there.
Yeah, and especially if you were on the football team and he's walking around with his leather jacket and all that shit. Three of the there's three people that come out later on too. They talk about Pagano, friends of his from high school, that said that you could kind of see. As in high school, Pagano kind of he was a boastful kind of guy. Okay. He was a very prideful, little arrogant, boastful. Cocky. I mean, he's a fucking
a jock.
He's a jock, and I don't know. There's also kind of there's this, especially back then, there was this swagger that Italian guys would put on too, and it was just a dick grabbing kind of a hey, look at this fucking guy type of thing,
smacking everybody on the ass.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't understand it. So a little boastfulness, and also. He wanted to. He was always trying to make friends with like influential people and around town, and whoever's in charge, he's going to try to get next to him and figure out how he can influence them and shit like that. Yeah, he's working shit here. He would also like to, he rode around. His parents had like a nice car, and he would drive around in it, and kind of he was showing off. He's a little flashy, that sort of thing. Here, one of his friends said, a childhood friend said, "Quote: I don't know that Bill ever really knew how to make close friends, but he knew how to cater to people and cultivate them. He always saw himself in a higher position in life than he was. Later on, when he became wealthy, it was a power he used to influence people." So this is develop kind of a narcissistic thing developing with him. And also, but other people said the opposite. Other people say he was a great guy. Like fucking Bill was a great guy. One guy said, quote, "If you were around him, he was extremely genteel and deferential to people's feelings." So, but that can also be cultivating them. That's how con artists are also. You know what I mean? I mean, when a pimp meets a girl, they don't say like, I'm going to beat you up and make you do drugs and give me all your money. They say nice things when you first meet them.
It's called grooming the mark.
That's what I mean. It's grooming is exactly what that is. Whether you're grooming a child for something horrible or you're grooming another human,
it's still a
for your own purposes.
For his prey,
you're looking to make your own.
You got to get the mark
for your own purposes. So he said, so people liked him, but they also, and it was a thing where a lot of people who liked him said that some people didn't like him because they were jealous of him. His parents did pretty well, and he was on the football team, and people liked him, and he was an easygoing guy, and so people were like, oh, this guy thinks he's hot shit. So there's a lot of that. Like,
there's a lot of people like that in this
some
world
people
too,
going, they're just haters.
Where you see him and you go, yeah, but if you get to know him, you're actually going to like the guy.
Exactly. That happens a lot with a lot of different people. I
know too many people where I'm like, that guy is a douche. Why do you hang out with him? And they're like, if you hang out with him, you'll get to know him. And I'm not going to get through this.
I've had to explain that a few times.
Yeah? About me?
In comedy? In comedy? Yeah, I've had to explain that a couple times. I'm like, no, you don't know Jimmy, all right? Okay? You got to know him. And then you love him.
He's fine.
He's great. But
if he says horrible things about you, it means he likes you.
That's a good thing. Yeah, you're an idiot. So
if he doesn't, then you should worry.
Yeah. I've had that a few times, too. People have, like, especially in comedy, people just thought I was an asshole without ever talking to me.
Right.
Just like, he thinks he's hot shit. I was like, not really.
I just don't like you.
I'm really miserable, actually. But
I hate me, too.
Yeah, I do.
If we get together, we might hate me at the same pace.
Yeah, you're just mad because
we'll high-five each other over it.
You're just mad because I do better on stage than you, and that's basically how comedy works.
That's basically what it is.
I hate myself as much as or more than you. I just got better laughs tonight, so chill the fuck out. So he started dating in high school. He started dating a young lady named Mary Eileen Workmeister. He starts dating her, and eventually they get married in November 1965, which is 5 months after graduation. This is some small town. Idyllic shit right here.
Into it.
That's it. In 1965, that's what you did.
Life going.
You had your high school sweetheart, and you graduated high school, and you proposed to her right after graduation, and you got married a few months later, and that was it. And then you have a kid by next summer.
You betcha.
Let's get this going, man.
Good Lord.
It is crazy. So they end up having 5 children altogether.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of kids. Yeah, it really is.
Oh my God.
Whole lot of children.
Oh,
a little bit here.
I can't imagine.
It's a lot. 5 kids is a goddamn lot of kids.
More than that, man. It's fucking. What are you doing?
Well, I would think.
I get it. I know that there are people that do that shit on purpose.
Yeah,
I mean, it just seems fucking nuts to me.
If you have 2, you can control them.
Yeah,
especially if there's 2 parents. You get one, I get the other.
Right.
Once you have 3, you're still trying to keep it together. As far as like, okay, I'll grab one and let him wander off a little. Then you grab the other, and we'll pull that one in. And you still trying to keep it all together. Once there's 4 or 5, I think you just go, fuck it. I don't let them destroy the fucking house. I don't even care anymore.
Here's the way I see it.
I don't even care anymore.
I've seen people juggle with 3 objects. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's possible.
I can see that being
5
done
is a push.
and understand the logistics of it. When there's like 19 fucking things happening and a dude throws a chainsaw
He's got a
into
chainsaw
it,
and an axe
like, no,
and a flaming
something's
thing.
on fire.
Yeah, like, no.
That looks like 10 kids to me.
Yeah, that's 5 at least. 5 looks insane.
5, looks like there's a chainsaw being drug around somewhere, and I can hear it. I can't see it.
When I see people with 2 kids just like less than 3 years apart, I'm like, oh Jesus, how do you do it? Oh my God, you poor son of a bitch! I can't imagine even that.
I just imagine
too close together.
Their house always smells like something's on fire.
Fire, or someone just pissed it out. Was something burning and then urinated out? Is that what happened here? That's what it smells like.
Do I need to set a new breaker somewhere? What happened? 5
kids, and you're lucky. At 5 kids, you'd be like, I don't know, maybe there's a fire somewhere. Go looking for one. Fuck, I don't know. If the fire department comes, I'll say there's a fire. I have no idea at this point.
That's fucking insane to me. I don't understand wanting that. But there are people that go, I want 8 kids.
Yeah. Oh, God. I want as many as I can.
What
are
you doing with yourself?
Funny. My little brother, his wife wanted 5 kids before they got married. Yeah. And now they just had a kid, and I think they're updating their total. I think they're updating
maybe 2?
The possibility. Yeah, I don't think 5's on the table anymore. I think they're like, this is hard. Maybe 5 isn't right. I don't think this is going to work.
Granted, as they get older, they may help, and then you can be like, take your brother somewhere. I can't do this shit.
Get him away from me. But yeah, you got to spread him out then.
Right.
That's the thing.
In the event that doesn't happen, then what?
Oh, man. And every time you just restart the clock again to when you're going to have any time to
0
relax.
hour ends.
So
starts over.
Just starts over, man. So Billy becomes a police officer. He's a young guy. They start having kids right away, so he needs something steady to support his family with, obviously, and police officer's a decent job for that. Becomes a police officer at a pretty young age in Manchester, Missouri, which is right nearby, and another little small town too. He worked for a little while, and then by 1974, he's 27 years old, and he becomes the chief of the Festus Police Department.
So young.
At 27, he's the youngest police chief in Missouri
at the time.
And at the time, in all
Probably
of Missouri.
Still,
who knows? 27 is very young for a police chief. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's not a lot of time at all.
And you don't have to be voted into that, right? It's just a job that you can.
It's a hiring.
Apply for.
It's a hiring, basically, job. I mean, different towns and
that essentially
who knows, but
relies on timing anyway.
I think that
when this guy's going out and what's next.
I think the mayor hires. I think they work for the mayor, kind of not work for them, but I think the mayor or the mayor's whatever council that does something staffs this.
He's in charge of hiring
a police chief. Yeah. If you watch, kind of like on The Wire.
Oh, God damn it!
There you go. See.
Or in Batman, Mayor Gordon is hiring the police.
Yeah, they're trying to push Burrell out, and you got Carcetti wants somebody else in there. They got to have a black guy because it's Baltimore, and they need to offer more salary, but they can't because the council won't approve it because they're in with the old police chief, with Burrell. It's a big mess. It's a big mess. So so you got to go through councils and politics and all this shit. So within...
And that guy can essentially get the mayor fucking tossed, too, if he's a piece of shit and he represents him.
That's the other thing, and it works both ways. Sure. It kind of has to be a simpatico between mayors and police chiefs, I feel like.
Grace each other's palms.
They have to. They're because if the police chief does something crazy, makes the mayor look like an asshole. Right. So, then he has to fire the police chief, and then the police are mad at him, and it's a whole circle. So within a few weeks of being hired, Pagano starts cleaning house. He fires 9 of the city's 12 police officers.
So they now have 3.
Right away. Yes, right away, charging incompetence and even corruption.
Wow.
So he says it's a small town, little shitbag police force that's been too comfortable for too long, and I'm getting these slack jaws the fuck out of here.
I like it.
We're gonna modernize this police force and bring this up. He's very ambitious, Pagano.
Streamlining. In 74, I'm starting an app.
God damn it. Hopefully it'll work.
In the 2000s, we're going to get phones that'll handle it.
Oh, it's going to be good, but I can see into the future. He said the people said that he had a relationship as a tough cop. He rid the town of a motorcycle gang that was around, and he was very proud of cracking down on young motorists cruising the city's main streets. Oh, God.
Oh, Billy.
Jesus Christ. God forbid.
You asshole.
God forbid. And the old people there were like, good, God damn it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, they loved him for it. Yeah. Cleaning up the town. Get those stinky motorcycle guys out of there. Who knows if they were even a fucking gang.
Yeah.
Probably just like
3 dudes that ride motorcycles.
3 dudes that are kind of dirty that rode motorcycles, and they get that gang out of here.
I'm on my way to work, bro.
These kids cruising around,
down at the fucking malt shop.
How dare they go to the old drive-in or whatever the fuck they're doing. He liked to talk about them ridding the town of the motorcycle people, though. That's his friend said. He would gloat about that everywhere. Remember when those people were here? Yeah, that's right. I got rid of those sons of bitches, didn't I? They said that he also loved to drop names of people that he knew in high places. People around him would actually have to say at some point, okay, I don't want to hear about people anymore. I don't want to hear about people you know anymore. That's enough. I get it. You know the county attorney and this guy and that big fucking deal. Like, he's a big name dropper. Yeah. He's like once again putting it back in. He's like an asshole comic.
Yeah.
Who's like, I went to the Comedy Store and this person was there and I talked to him for 10 seconds and you're like, that's great. I don't fucking care.
Like,
I'm buddies with them now. They don't take me on the road. No, they're not. Shut up.
Comics are in conversation with you and they're like, Chris told me one day and you're like, who's Chris? And they're like, Dalia, duh.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
fuck you.
Yeah.
Just say my friend.
You're a dildo.
It doesn't matter to the conversation who said it.
Don't care.
Fucking jerk.
Don't care that you met somebody for 8 seconds one time and they pretended to like you.
Right.
So you wouldn't talk shit about them. because that's what it is. That's
and
what
now you're
comics
out
do.
here being their PR guy.
How shitty can I be to you to have you still not talk shit about me to all the other people? That's how comics are. That's
right.
the exact level of love that you get, basically, from any comics, unless they're your good friend.
Right.
It's how shitty can I be to where they won't be like, that guy's a dick.
Yeah.
So it's sad. Seems like that's how it is here. One of his favorite buddies was the Jefferson County Sheriff, Walter Buck Burger.
Burger is his last name.
Yeah, Buerger.
Oh.
Buger.
Yeah.
Burger. I'm going to call him Burger.
Yeah.
I'm calling him Buck Burger. Fuck this guy. So Pagano and Buck Burger were tight.
Yeah.
They were like that. Yeah. I mean, professional friendship. He would, Pagano would donate to Burger's sheriff campaigns and, help him get elected and shit like that. Long time friendship starting out in the 70s, there. Now, a lot of people say he did improve the department. Yeah. It was a bunch of slack-jawed yokel dildos.
Sure.
He came in there and started to do that. He even persuaded the city council to start increasing salaries so he could get better police officers, lobbied for better equipment for them and shit like that.
Surprise, surprise. That shit makes somebody want the job.
That's what I mean. A little more money. They give you like a vest so they don't want you to get killed.
A new gun.
They give you a gun
rusty,
that works.
Not one that we fished out of the river on a murder case.
Well, this one, I mean, we cleaned all the prints off of the old shit.
He's in prison forever now,
so
it's just going to sit in the room.
I mean, we could either get rid of it or you could use it.
Hip.
That's fine.
Put some oil on it.
We're out of bullets, so when you pull the gun,
pick some up on your own.
When you pull the gun, just act real confident, like.
Or make loud noises with your mouth. They'll
just
run
be
away.
Like, freeze, bang, and then they'll be like, hold it up in the air and go bang, and then they'll run away.
Hold it up in the air and slam your car door.
That's how you do it. They'll think you're going to run. It's going to be perfect. I think we can pull this off.
They'll think you got a suppressor on that thing. You're dangerous.
It's going to be a dangerous man. So a circuit judge here that was friends with him said he was an active and aggressive in his job, talking about Billy. He had a knack for locating talent for police work, for hiring good people. The former mayor said that Pagano, quote, did an outstanding job as chief, even though you sometimes had to rein him in. He really upgraded things and usually got the council to go along. One time he wanted riot gear, talking about sort of a SWAT team, and that was one of the few things we didn't agree on, because it's a small town.
How many people live here?
It's like, we don't need a SWAT team. Probably
we need riot gear.
Yeah, we'll just send you over to knock on the door. Probably is what we're
you
gonna
evicted
do.
Fat Mike and his band of thieves on their motorcycles.
Now what do you need a riot gear for? In case they come back, in case those three come back,
in case there's an uprising from the kids that want to cruise.
Yeah, so he also does things on his own. In 1975, a year after he became chief, he had to ask for permission from city officials, and he did get permission to start a security company on the side, private security company. No, he called it Scientific Security Inc., SSI, and so this starts to do very, very well, to the point where in March 1980, Billy and his family, move into a 15-room home.
Wow.
With a big pool, and I've seen the aerial of it. It's backed up against the woods. It's a huge, beautiful home. It's gorgeous. It looks like Tony Soprano's house.
Okay.
That's the best way I could describe it if you've ever watched The Sopranos.
So
it's that style of house.
15 rooms, James.
It's a big fucking house.
Fuck.
Big ass house. So he does that. But it gets dicey too at some point here. In 1981, he shot a guy named Ray Dill after a high-speed chase.
Yeah.
Here and
real Dill.
Dill.
Yeah.
So he got a real Dill.
Yeah.
He got. So I guess Dill was arrested the previous night on a drunk driving charge, and so Pagano ended up somehow to that the next day shooting him.
Really?
And Pagano told a reporter that he had seen Dill speeding the next day, and he started chasing him. He said both cars went off the road, and then Pagano said he tried to arrest Dill, but Dill pointed a gun at him, and said then the chief fired 7 shots and killed Dill.
Really?
7 shots.
He got him.
Dill
he got
suffered.
The pickle.
Got the pickle. Pickled him up good.
Yeah.
Suffered wounds to the chest, the right side of his right side and his left arm, and So this is not a good deal here for him.
Not a good Dill.
Yeah, but Dill survives though.
He did.
He survived. Yeah,
he didn't kill him.
He didn't kill Dill.
Wow.
It's not a kill Dill situation.
Holy shit.
He survived this, and he actually enters an Alford plea to a charge of flourishing a deadly weapon.
Really?
So yeah, he avoided.
He got shot almost as many times as 50 Cent, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, he got shot the fuck up.
Wow.
So now Pagano keeps going on as police chief, and he gets a no-bid contract 3 years in a row with the Missouri Department of Conservation to guard 3 river access areas in Jefferson County with a security company. From 80 to 82, he was paid a total of $100,800 by the state for those contracts alone.
Yeah.
So his political connections are helping him in this way. He also is contracted to provide security for Jefferson Memorial Hospital in Festus, where he's, kind of well known there as the chief of police.
Yeah.
In 83, this goes on. He's doing very well for himself, by the way.
Is this the security company that he owns? Is it him doing the security, or is he hiring it out?
He's still the chief of police.
So he's hiring it out.
He's got his wife runs the business side of it out of their house, and he runs
just extra cash.
It's just a shitload of extra cash, and he's doing all the police work, and that's that. And he has so much money that in 83 he reported that that $100,000 worth of guns had been stolen from his home in a burglary.
He had
100 in 1983. So
wow,
think about what that's now.
An arsenal, James.
It's over $500,000 worth of guns now. That'd be a
so many
shitload of guns. You'd need 15 rooms.
You'd be on an FBI list with that. Even if you're the chief of police, they're keeping track.
That's too many fucking guns.
That's a lot of.
Unless you're starting an army.
Reason for that?
No, that's too many guns. I don't care if you like guns. Jimmy likes guns.
I love guns.
Do you don't need $500,000 worth of guns to yourself? That's a little much.
God, that's so many guns.
He reported 27 shotguns, a riot gun, and between 40 and 50 handguns were taken, along with 5 walkie-talkies belonging to the security company. That's why you can have it for a security company. 10 to 15 men's and women's rings, a camera, and about $1,400 cash.
Rings.
I don't know. That was stolen out of his house.
Got it.
So yeah,
He's got 22 shotguns.
27 shotguns.
Why do you? Listen, I love guns. I got 2. And I'm like, I have too many shotguns, I think.
Shotguns, yeah. This must be for the security, because 40 to 50 handguns is a lot of fucking handguns.
That's a lot.
Still. Yeah, so... Wow, that's so weird. So from the summer of 83, the SSI had a contract for security at Times Beach, which is a ghost town because it's dioxin contaminated. Oh. It's one of these Missouri towns that you're not allowed to go in.
Really?
Because it's poison. Yeah. These companies, that they would just let them do whatever they want, and they so befouled the fucking earth that for 100 years no one can be there. That's amazing to me.
Gross.
It was totally fine. Not
dioxin.
That's cool. Yeah. Let's roll back regulations. No one will do that again, I'm sure. So, so the Department of Natural Resources paid $800,000 to the company to guard that shit. Okay. To
his security company.
So he's making dough here. By 1984, he showed that the security company had taken in $4.5 million. So that's what they've grossed. So he's doing pretty well. And at the time, he resigns as the Festus police chief.
Yeah. Why would you?
Why bother? Right. That's what I mean. He said that he made $26,000 a year as police chief. Yeah. And he said, quote, "Right now, my police work consumes 90% of my time, but it's only 10% of my income." So,
and I bet 10% is even low.
It's even a low ball. Yeah. It's funny too, because high. People were starting to complain that he was, only in the job to boost up his security business. It got to that point. Right. So when he took it as like, hey, you know what? I don't need this shit. Right. This is too much time out of my schedule as it is. Yeah. So they gave him a big dinner when he retired, though, of course, what a wonderful guy he is. By the way, he's 37. So
not even 40.
Not even 40 yet. And he's retiring. Like, oh, I'm retiring. Let's have a big dinner and a gold watch. And the fuck, man. He brought out a bumper sticker at that point, and he put it on the lectern when he was talking that said, "I don't get mad, I get even."
I don't know why you'd put that out in the dinner.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to put out in the
We're celebrating
your celebratory dinner. I'm going to get even with you sons of bitches. How dare you give me this dinner? So, fuck, man. So, Mark Timothy Todd is the guy, the other guy
Tim
we talked
Todd.
about. Tim Todd,
Right.
his parents own that restaurant. Terry's his brother.
Right.
And, acquaintance of Pagano from back in the day. Tim's a few years younger. Tim was born in 1956. 9 years younger. And Tim comes up. Tim marries a woman in 1974 as well. And once again, 1956, 74. 18 years old. So
Is it Tabitha?
That's the style. No, it was Patricia Winfrey.
Trisha.
Patty, she goes by. But
Yeah.
Patty's also very...
I like it better with Trisha because that's another T.
Yeah, Trisha and Todd and Terry and all that. And
Trisha, Todd.
Tim, Terry, Todd.
Tim, Todd, and
Trisha.
Terry, and Trisha.
Trisha, Tim, Terry, Todd. So Patty Winfrey, he marries April 12, 1974. Now, Tim Todd is really into working out later on. He's a big fucking guy. 6'6", first of all.
Oh, God, what...
He's 6 foot.
Great.
Well, yeah, that's not bad. No, you'd be very uncomfortable, but yet you still can't make money just sitting on a bench in the NBA. So that 6'6" is worthless.
That's a good point.
6'6" is worthless. Trust me, it's bad. Anything between 6'2" and 6'10" is just trouble for you. It's just a huge pain in the ass. Believe me, you don't need it.
Maybe 6'8".
Maybe.
Yeah.
You still have to have skills at 6'8".
It's pretty fucking impressive.
But you have to have skills at 6'9"
Gotcha.
to do
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
if you're like 6'11", they'll be like, we could teach him to just
If he
rebound.
stands still,
if he
it's
stands
fine.
still and just
Yeah.
puts his arms up,
Yeah.
we teach him
He
to put
might
his
get 2
hands up
blocks a game.
at the right time. This could work. So you got a shot at it. At least a free college education.
Yeah.
Some college will come bring you in
Yeah.
if you're 6'11". So he's also later on. He's very into working out. He weighs over 250 pounds.
Well, he should.
He's into steroids later
Of
too when he's
course.
working out.
This is Tim Todd?
This is Tim Todd.
Good Lord.
He gets all jacked up
Yeah.
and Tim's a big guy. So now Tim Todd also begins as a police officer. He gets a job with the Festus Police Department in the 1970s here after he gets married. He again needs a steady job just the same way.
Yeah.
And he starts in the mid 70s while Billy is chief. And so he's a police officer in Festus for a few years. And then Todd reports being shot with a .357 while investigating a suspicious vehicle at a radio station. Okay. He said he went there. He was 23 years old at the time. He said he was saved by his bulletproof vest. And so there was a huge manhunt. Somebody shot, the guy got away.
Yeah.
Todd didn't get a shot off. He just
Shot in the chest.
ambushed.
Wow.
Ambushed at a radio station, just investigating a suspicious vehicle and got shot, and the guy ran away. So you can imagine the complete manhunt for this. I mean, they can't have a cop killer out there or whatever. No arrests were ever made, though. They never found the person that did it. That's the problem with that is because Todd ends up resigning 3 weeks later from the force because he recanted the story about being shot.
Oh?
He didn't actually get shot.
What happened?
He just made it up.
He shot his own
He shot his vest and was like, somebody shot me.
Wow.
That's what he did. He shot his vest and then put it on. It was like, somebody shot me.
What a dickhole.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Now I get attention. And so he quietly resigned after that because that's pretty embarrassing shit. But the Chief Pagano here does not hold it against him.
No?
He, in fact, hires him for his security firm because this sounds like a reliable guy.
Yeah, give him a raise.
Yeah, he stages his own shooting. That seems like we need him on the team, I would imagine.
I need that guy from the police force.
Puts him in a management position, too.
Wow.
I mean, one of his top people he is. Right-hand man. Basically.
It seems like a scene from Police Academy.
It's very much a scene from Police Academy, of like the early ones, like in the academy.
Right.
They haven't even got their badges yet. They still don't even know how to hold their guns.
Bobcat Goldthwait's still a
He's just
thug clown
screaming
street guy.
and shit. Yeah, it's crazy. So,
let's go have some fun.
oh my god,
I love that movie.
So it's a great movies. Christ, all 14 of them. So,
I think there's actually 8.
There
Isn't
is.
that embarrassing?
I think they might have made 9.
Oh my god!
They started making them in like the 2000s again.
They kicked the dog shit out
They
of
made
that thing.
in Russia. Even Gutenberg stopped being in them, and his career was fucked.
It's
and
over.
And he even was like, you know what? Even I'm above this.
It's
This
a bit
is-
much, you guys.
I was in 3 Men and a Baby.
I
Okay,
cannot
calm down.
reprise Mahoney one more
We
time.
can't do it. I'm just too sad. It's just too sad.
Can you guys just write in that Mahoney shot himself? Can you do that?
You know what? That's what I'll be in the movie if I'm allowed to shoot myself. If I'm allowed to just take one glance around and put my gun in my mouth.
Can I kill Mahoney? Can I do it?
Just put my gun in my mouth. How's that? Then we'll call it a day. Have Tackleberry shoot me with his 44.
Have that blonde smother me with her tits.
Perfect. So Todd is working there, and Todd is very much kind of a protege of Pagano. Pagano looks at him as like, I'm his mentor. That's how he's kind of looking at him. I'm going to take him along here because he's a younger guy, like we said too. Now Terry Todd, we've talked about, he's Todd's older brother.
Right.
He's the older brother. He called Pagano a control freak.
Yeah.
He said he's a bit of a control freak. And I mean, he's the chief of police. Yeah. He owns a security company.
He's 27 and the chief of police.
Yeah. Well, no, he's 37.
Right. But now he's the retired.
Yeah. Retired chief of police. He's making big money.
Yeah.
Everything he does works. So it's easy for him to feel good about himself.
He's got the most money in your town. Of course he feels like the boss.
He's doing well. He said that Pagano engendered a huge amount of loyalty from his employees. He was very much, his employees looked up to him very much. He had a good mystique about him. Okay. Terry here said, quote, "My brother once thought Pagano was the greatest thing since floating soap." Never heard that one before.
Oh boy,
I've never. That's
Tim. Is it Terry that said that?
This is Terry. Said
Terry,
that.
You just invented floating soap.
No, soap floats. That's good.
Oh, I see. On
floating
the tub.
soap.
Got it.
So if you're in the tub, you don't lose the soap. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
But the expression is normally sliced bread, obviously, which is a little better than floating soap.
Did soap usually sink?
I don't know if their soap ever sank or if they had to invent, like if someone was like, this fucking soap, how can we make soap better? Well, we can make it float.
And then we can put it on a rope.
I'm not sure exactly how that goes, or if that's just
It would have been better with soap on a rope, because that
best thing since soap on a rope.
Yeah, that floats together better. You know what I mean?
Probably.
The two words.
I don't think he's going for rhyming here.
Maybe, I don't know that either. But
I don't think he's going for, he's like.
But saying best thing since floating soap, or since, what is it?
It's the best thing since soap on a rope that floated on a boat. He's not, what is he, fucking Don King now out here? What's he doing?
So much better.
Jesus Christ.
But since soap floats?
Yeah. I don't know what he's getting at.
It makes you sit there and go, is that a saying? Before you understand what the fuck he means.
That's right away. I'm like, greatest thing since floating soap. Who the fuck is this guy? And then, honestly, when you hear that, the person loses credibility just a little bit. I don't know why they shouldn't. They don't deserve to.
Instead, I'm thinking of soap floating in air, and I'm like,
does that would be amazing. Now, that would be incredible if that came out. That would be an invention. Weightless soap.
You don't need it on a rope because it just stays
Zero
eye level.
gravity soap. Now we're talking.
Well, that's what I saw in my head because I'm an idiot. I didn't even think about a goddamn
Jesus
tub.
Christ, are you kidding me?
I swear to God.
Wouldn't that be flying soap? That would be a different. It's the best thing since flying soap. I'd be like, okay, what the fuck? But floating soap?
I didn't know what the fuck he meant.
Levitating soap? Yeah,
I can't tell you the last time I used a bar of soap in a tub.
That's hilarious.
That's why.
I've been in a tub since I was fucking 9.
I take baths all the time, but I use bath fizzy or fucking a bomb or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't use that to scrub my fucking body.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I suppose I just kind of soak, drink a bottle of wine, then I get in the shower and get that shit off of me.
Well, you got to wash all the soap you've been soaking in off you. Fuck that.
So when you said floating soap, I was like, doesn't happen.
Hope not. So Terry Todd said, whenever I'd see Tim, it was always Bill says this and Bill says that. So that's it's all about best thing since floating soap. Okay. What do you want? So back to Pagano here. He left the police department and he became big into politics. Yeah. Over the next couple of years, he gave more than $34,000 to Missouri Attorney General William Webster in over a few year period. He also he gave $5,000 all the way up until the late 80s. In 1988, the Webster's opponent pointed out Pagano's contributions and said that that Webster had withdrawn an opinion by a previous attorney general, who was John Ashcroft, the ex-attorney general of the United States. Yeah, that fucking lunatic who covered up the statue of fucking Justice's fucking tits because he's insane. Said that the sheriff's department couldn't use moonlight, the sheriff's deputies couldn't moonlight as security guards. That was a...
Really?
Yeah, he passed that law, and then this attorney general withdrew it based on what they're saying, contributions from this guy that would help him a lot. So Pagano and Webster denied any connections between contributions and getting what you want, obviously. It's like if I go to McDonald's and I deny any connection between giving you $2 and getting a fucking cheeseburger. Those things are not connected at all. I said I wanted a cheeseburger and I gave you the money, but you were under no obligation to do it. And if you did, it wasn't a quid pro quo as far as that goes, obviously, the cheeseburger for $2. So he's literally saying that, like, yes, I gave him money and told him what I wanted, and he did it. That doesn't mean I bought it. It has nothing to do with anything.
He did it because it's the right thing to do.
It happened to also be the right thing to do, which is amazing. Fucking, I love when those things line up. Fucking Christ.
It's incredible when fucking idiots say shit like that.
Wild shit, man.
It's like when they think that soap floats.
Yeah. No shit. So Pagano's got a son-in-law, Eddie Page, and he worked in Webster's office also. So he's got a son-in-law working in that attorney general's office in St. Louis as an intern. He'll later on become a judge, Page, by the way. Said a spokesman for the attorney general's office says Page worked an average of 12 hours a week and was like a school intern type of thing, college intern. Pagano also contributed to Buck Berger's sheriff campaigns. He employed sheriff's deputies at his security firm, and Berger's wife worked as his bookkeeper for his security firm for a while here. So he's all interwoven and finger fucking with the sheriff.
People
and everything
making
else.
Money all over the place from each other.
Yeah. Pagano and Buck's wives were listed as officers in a fire extinguisher company that they were running out of Pagano's home. I don't know what the fuck.
Wow.
Fire extinguisher company.
That's brilliant.
You know what everyone needs? Fire extinguishers.
But businesses fucking pay so much money for that shit, and it's a write-off, so they don't give a shit.
But if that's one of those things where you go, someone's got to be making that already, right? Like who decides to make those? You know, you go, someone's making five. Everywhere I go, I see them. They got to be being made somewhere. It's like saying, I'm going to make forks.
But as many as I see of them, I go, they've got to be overwhelmed with how many they need.
But they also never get used.
Yeah,
it's one item that you buy and you put it somewhere for 20 years.
Yeah, but after a while, it's no good. But so you got to get a new one.
You don't, though. Who gets a new fire extinguisher? It's still there, giving you peace of mind that you're a smart person who's covered your possible losses with a fire extinguisher. That's all
when it doesn't operate, you grab a garden hose and shut the fuck up.
You're like, whatever, I'll just
and wait for the real people.
Who cares? I'm not going to put it out anyway. So Pagano also had a bunch of real estate. He and his company were listed as owners of 9 parcels of real estate in the county, including a cinema, like a movie theater on Main Street in Festus, where where Pagano will go hang out and take tickets on the weekend so he can schmooze with the locals. Oh yeah.
He'll be a fucking ticket ripper.
Yeah, just how you doing, everybody? All right, come on in here. Yeah, he's showing off his movie theater. Now, in 1986. Rick Earls, who was the son of the former mayor, Mayor Earls, who was buddies with Pagano. This kid, Rick Earls, killed a man outside a bar in Festus using a gun that had been issued to the mayor by Pagano.
Oh, shit.
Pagano had given him a gun, and it ends up shooting someone in a bar parking lot here. So this guy pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, Rick Earls, and Charles Earls resigned as mayor shortly afterwards because, letting your
kids out there killing people.
Ne'er-do-well son kill people with city-issued weaponry is probably not a good look for you in the election coming up. So the new mayor reported that he had found that while Pagano had been police chief, he had issued more than 50 guns to people he commissioned outside the police force as, like, quote, reserve deputies.
Yeah.
Basically all of his friends, he'd just give them a gun.
He co-signed on their ability to handle a weapon?
To handle, like, not only a weapon, because you can go buy one, but a government-issued, a city police-issued weapon.
That's psychotic.
Here you go, be a sheriff's deputy, but it was basically just, or be a reserve deputy, but it was basically just here's a gun for you for free type of thing here. So now Tim Todd, we'll get back to Todd. Todd, he's we go up to about 1990. Now, he's been off the police force for 10 years.
Right.
And he's been working for SSI the whole time. He's Pagano's right-hand man. He's his protege.
Right.
They're all, everything's all lock stock. Todd's still married. He's been married for 16 years. He has
Trish.
To Trisha.
Trish Todd.
Trish Todd. He has 2 children here. Him and Patty have 2 children. And the marriage hasn't been going too well, though, lately. No, it's been going kind of lukewarm. And you can tell that by the fact that as of 1990, Todd has been involved in an affair.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
For over 2 years.
Wow.
With a girl named Stephanie. Stephanie is at this time 22 years old.
Hell yeah.
In 1990. She was 20 when they got together. Stephanie, by the way, her last name is Pagano because that's Bill's daughter.
Oh, no.
He is hooking up with Bill's 20-year-old daughter.
That.
Okay, so, no, Pagano was aware of the relationship and fine with it. Okay?
Well, he's 6'6".
Sort of fine with it. That's the thing.
And you can tell his wife.
She's a nursing student.
Okay.
And, they'll fight. She says, by the way, Stephanie said that she was infatuated with Todd since she was a child. So this is creepy as fuck.
Gross.
Yeah, he's 13 years older than her.
Right.
And she's been like, yeah, that's creepy. Yeah. If you're coming over, you're 20 and some 7-year-old's like, you're going to be my boyfriend. You're like, hey, that's cute, kid, or whatever. You don't be like, I'll take a note of that. I'm going to take you up on that in a while, so.
I'm going to jot in my day planner when you turn 18.
Hey, don't talk out your ass, kid. I'm writing this fucking down, all right? I'm writing this down. This is all going to be documented.
Hold your 7-year-old ass to it when you're 18.
It's going to be soon, and he did, too. I mean, right away, he was all over that. So she said that she was infatuated with him since she was a child, and they had some conflicts in their going out. Number one, he's married, so that's an issue.
That's tough.
That's a tough one.
That makes it hard.
It can't be too comfortable. She goes to school and they fight about whether she should stay in school or not, and they fight about a lot of things here. 1990 comes around, and by then there's a lot of conflicts in their relationship. These are complicated relationships anyway when you're dealing with an extramarital affair, but then on top of it, when you add in the fact that it's your boss's daughter and it's all intertwined like that.
And 13 years is a lot, man.
It's a lot. It's
That's
a lot.
Big age
It's
gap.
a big age gap.
10 is enough.
When one of the parties is barely an adult.
Right.
That's a lot.
She's still going to college.
If she was 30 and he was 43, it wouldn't matter.
No, it's not crazy.
It's fine.
Right.
If he's 50 and she's 37, who gives a shit? But 33 and 20, and at the time it was, that's a lot. Your lives are in way different places is what I'm getting at. Yeah. And anytime over 25, I feel like everybody's equal. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But under 25, you don't have a life yet.
Your brain isn't even scientifically, it's not even done yet.
Well, it's not developed, and you haven't done.
No, you haven't done enough.
Started anything to, you know what I mean? To be 33, you should have a life established. Whereas
you
20,
barely even had an
20,
opportunity.
You should be building one.
Yeah,
you
barely had an opportunity to make a mistake that can ruin you for a while.
Yeah, barely, barely. So she had said that she was possessive, that Todd was being possessive with her, and there's different things going back and forth of people saying that she says she wants to break it off, but Todd also says he wants to break it off, but yet they don't break it off. You're not married, you don't have any kids, you're having an affair. If neither of you are enjoying it, break it off. What the fuck are we talking about here? Right? I mean, what are we doing?
This odd couple that there's no reason in the world that they should be dating in the first place. Why are you continuing
You're
this
going
shit?
against God and nature. What is wrong? Whatever the fuck. You're going
society,
against society.
And opportunities.
Just everything. Everything is saying that you two should not be together, and you're just ignoring it and forcing it. Stop forcing shit, people. That's the problem. I have a new rule with everything is don't force it.
It should be so easy.
I won't force anything.
No.
Like if we're going to go get some food and like something happens, it becomes a pain in the ass, I'm not forcing it. I'll just order something. I don't care. I'm not going out anymore.
I'll
Fuck
fix it.
I'll fix it now. I'm not doing this shit. Don't force it. Bad things happen when you force it. You end up sitting in airports for 2 days when you force it.
Or eating a greasy hamburger.
Or eating a shitty hamburger. So the problem is, I think the reason why they're still together possibly is that Bill wants them together.
Really?
Bill wants Todd to marry Stephanie, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah, Bill has got this. Well, at that point, then he's a son-in-law. He sort of owns him then. Yeah. So now he's got one son-in-law who's going to be a judge. He's going to be a lawyer, then a judge. Right. You got this son-in-law. He's a big, giant guy. He's going to work for my security firm. He's almost like he's controlling. It's like he's making a team.
Yeah.
Like a weird little team.
A little militia.
Yeah, it's very strange here. But so the problem is Todd's married and has 2 kids, though. Yeah. So it's going to be hard for him to marry
Bill?
Your daughter. It's very strange. Like I said, Todd is has been working for SSI, the security company, for 10 years. He is the vice president of SSI.
Really?
Todd is. Yeah, he's doing well for himself. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Pagano was president here. The company's technically on paper owned by Pagano's wife, now Eileen. Now, they were also both reserve Jefferson County deputy sheriffs as well, because Buck Berger there is. You guys are reserve sheriff. It doesn't mean shit. I mean, but you get to carry a gun.
Doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, they give you a little badge and you're all happy. So, now.
Probably gets you out of a speeding ticket or 2.
Oh, yeah. You got your badge in your wallet there when you open up. Hey, officer, let me get my license out here. Oh, what's that? My badge?
Don't pay any attention to that shiny shit.
Oh, no, just it's in my wallet. You know how that is. That's the definite cop move there. So now 1990 comes around here, and Todd begins apparently having discussions with Bill. Mm-hmm. They start having talks about maybe hiring someone to kill Todd's wife. What? Maybe we'll kill my wife.
Wow.
Because this is a lot. You know, I got these kids and she's a pain in the ass, and I kind of want to, I guess you want me to marry your daughter and whatever. So let's kill my wife. What do you say? Let's do that. So they have a bunch of conversations about this.
This is wild.
Yeah, let's kill my wife. Yeah. And Pagano here, he says that I want
to know whose idea it was first.
That's the thing. Well,
I wish I was on a fly on this wall.
Don't you want to see how that conversation progressed?
Hey, look, I'd love to keep hammering your daughter's sweet gash, but I got this wife.
You know how that goes. She's a real pain in the ass.
Well, you want my daughter's sweet gash? I'll take care of it. I'll do it.
Tell you what. Hold on a minute here. Now, listen. Don't let anybody tell you that I'm not a guy who makes things happen. I'm a guy. Listen, if an older gentleman wants to pound my daughter's sweet gash, I'm a man that could facilitate that and will. You understand? I will facilitate it. It's going to happen.
I need you to put babies in that little sweet gash.
Put it in there. I want to be a grandpa. He's got 5 kids.
So creepy.
So creepy. His youngest at this point is 10 years old, by the way, Pagano. So, I mean, he's got quite the spread going on here pardon the pun there.
So does his daughter.
So, yeah, Jesus Christ. And I don't even know her deal. Like, I don't know if she is...
is she a willing participant in this? Or is
she's a willing participant, but I don't know if she's being told that he's going to leave his wife. Or I don't know what she's being told as a younger person like that. And I feel like, Todd, if you're the one that's married, I don't know. It's kind of your responsibility.
Yeah, you got some shit to handle
him
before you can get in here.
Yeah, so Pagano would ask Todd if do you seriously want to do this? Are you serious about killing your wife? And Todd was like, yeah, fucking kill her. Let's do this. So
I thought you meant dating his daughter.
No. Not serious about her.
How serious are you
serious about killing the wife? So he said that Todd said that and Pagano said, well, tell you what I did. I've contacted a few people that might be able to take care of this for you. Oh my God. He's got a lot of connections, Pagano. So he's like, I know a few people. I might be able to help you out with this. Now, there's another problem that starts to happen. In February of 1990, Todd begins another affair.
What are you doing?
He begins an affair with a young lady named Kristen Caro. Mm-hmm. What's the big deal? He wants his wife dead, so I don't. I mean, who knows? He's fucking around on his fuck around right now, which is a problem.
He's fucking around on everybody.
Yeah,
he's fucking around on Bill.
He's fucking around on his fuck around and Bill and his wife. Yeah. He's just betraying everything possible here. So there's a lot of balls in the air. As we're talking about juggling, this Todd has got a chainsaw and something just caught on fire. So March 22nd, 1990, Pagano goes and meets with the prosecuting attorney of Jefferson County. Yeah. He tells the prosecuting attorney that Todd has discussed arranging to have his wife killed. This is after he said
ratting him out.
He said that Pagano says, look, I'm trying to dissuade Todd from doing this and get him to seek psychiatric help instead. So you don't have to arrest him for conspiracy to commit murder, So it's kind of a big deal. You can't even talk about hiring hitmen. It becomes a crime real fast.
It does.
Super fast. As soon as you bring it up to somebody, it's a crime at that point. So not good. So the prosecuting attorney suggested that Pagano contact the detective division of the sheriff's department and get their assistance. So after his discussion here, Pagano had a telephone conversation, not with the detectives department, but with the sheriff himself, Buck Berger.
Good old Berger.
Is my buddy. I'll call Buck up here. And he tells him about Todd's plan. He's going to kill his goddamn wife. He's trying to hire somebody.
We got to stop it.
What the shit? So Pagano said that, look, my plan is to, instead of helping him find someone to kill his wife, I'm going to help him get psychiatric help. Okay. But if he refuses to go, I'm going to have to take him in myself. Yeah. I am a deputy reserve sheriff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take him in myself, and I'll arrest him, and then I'll bring him to you.
Still got cuffs.
That's what he said. Pagano says, but I want to handle this alone. Uh-huh. And if an arrest needs to happen, I'll take care of it alone. Now, what the sheriff should have said is, fucking, you're crazy. That's conspiracy to commit murder.
Right.
If he's doing this, then we're going to go arrest him in a professional manner. Yeah. You're going to go back to your house and shut up and be a witness, and we'll get a statement from you when we're ready.
We'll holler at you when we prosecute.
Other than that, what are you, out of your fucking mind? Instead, the sheriff goes, all right.
Wow.
Sounds good to me. Yeah,
it's a good plan.
Yeah, it's a good plan, Chief. All right. I'll see you then, Chuck.
Less paperwork.
Chuck, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. It might as well be Chuck. Doesn't matter. So he also discussed Todd's remarks about hiring someone to kill his wife with a Dr. Gordon Johnson, who's a friend of his, who's the chief medical examiner of the Jefferson County and also the chairman of the Department of Laboratory of Medicine at Jefferson Memorial Hospital.
That's a good guy to tell, just in case his wife comes in with some.
In case you get this,
shit.
I'm going to tell you where they came from.
I'm going to give you a start. Heads up. Head start on investigating this one.
That's the thing. Now, he told Johnson, this doctor, that Todd is using steroids because he's a big bodybuilder and he's a huge guy. He's over 250 at this point, 250 pounds. He's 6'6". And Pagano inquired about the effect of the use of anabolic steroids might have on a person. Because this isn't
just how much of a punch can I take from him?
Is he just going to rip my arms off and beat me to death with them?
Because I've seen movies.
But in 1992, steroids were not like they are now. Everybody kind of knows a lot about them. 90, it was just like this. Oh my God! You stick a needle in your arm and you're 300 pounds, and then you're a gorilla.
Right.
And just tear people apart.
He's like, I've seen that documentary of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he says he's always coming. Is that going to be a thing? If he picks me up, is he going to come all over me?
Now, how do I get to where I'm always coming? That's another question. You know what? Never mind Todd and his steroids. I'm curious about how I can be coming 24 hours a day. Is that possible? Should I talk about my daughter's gash now, or is that no? All right, this ain't the right time. Okay.
Have you seen it?
I've heard it's good. Terrible. So he at this point, Pagano tells this Dr. Johnson that he had the taped conversations between him and Todd, and $5,000 that Todd had given him to give to someone to kill his wife. He basically said, well, here, if you find someone to kill my wife, here's $5,000, give it to him.
Wow.
That's what he's doing here. So he said he had all of this in a safe deposit box. He had the money that he gave him and the tape recorded conversations of him wanting him to kill him. He gave Dr. Johnson the key to the box. Okay. He gives him the key to the box. Now, later on, he'll do that. Okay. So now he also, does all this. He talks to the sheriff and everything on March 26th, 1990. Mm-hmm. He talks to the sheriff. He called the sheriff and said that Todd's coming to my house. He goes, look, Todd's coming to my house. And, he said, he told Todd that they were going to go from his house to St. Louis to meet the guy who's going to kill Todd's wife.
Got it.
He's like, I told Todd, I got it all set up.
Yep.
And, it's going to be all good. So then Pagano asked Buck, should I need you? Where can I get you? And the sheriff told him, look, I'll be at my office if you need me. Okay. So Todd comes over to the residence. And the whole point was he had told Todd, look, you come over, you're going to have to bring some shit. You need information. You need a picture of your wife and where she is and her habits. Yeah. And I got to give it to this guy. So bring all your stuff and then we'll go to St. Louis and we'll do all of this. Todd comes over with a picture of his wife there. He's got typed information. He typed it. He didn't even handwrite. He typed it out about her place of employment, where she lives, where she visits when she's not working. He makes like a schedule, an itinerary of where to kill my wife. I wonder if he titled it "Where to Kill My Wife."
Where she might be.
Best places to kill my wife.
By Tim Todd.
Mark Tim Todd. So, yeah, he does that. Like we told you, the $5,000 was already there. He had already given him. So this is all going to go down. The sheriff knows about it. He's waiting to hear how this is going to turn out.
Right.
So 45 minutes later, after, he initially calls the sheriff and says he's coming over, Pagano calls the sheriff back.
Okay.
45 minutes later.
Yeah.
And sheriff says, Sheriff's
Department.
Sheriff Buck. So, yeah, Sheriff's Department. Runs out with his little fucking shorts.
Eating a burger.
He tells the sheriff, Sheriff Burger here, and Pagano answers the phone with, I had to shoot him.
Oh, boy.
Said, had to shoot him.
Already.
That's what I did. Had to shoot him.
Didn't even get to St. Louis.
So Buck said, what?
Yeah.
And
say, what now?
Say, what? And Pagano said, quote, he just won't listen. He tried to turn. He was going to try to get behind a car, and he was coming up with a gun. And so the sheriff asked Pagano if he had an ambulance coming, and Pagano said that he's going to call one, but then he said, Buck, he's dead. Like, I'm going to call one, but it doesn't fucking matter. I killed the fuck out of him.
It's over.
That's what he said here. Pagano says that Todd entered the garage, basically Pagano's garage, to get into the car, to get into Pagano's car. The garage had spaces for 2 parked cars. Only 1 car was in the garage, so there was room. He says that, Todd entered first, and Pagano told him that he had to go back inside to set his alarm. And he says when he returned at this point that Pagano was carrying a shotgun to take him in, basically to tell him that you're gonna have to turn yourself in or get help, one of the two.
Right.
And he said it's at that point, either way, however it turned out from there, 2 shots were fired from the shotgun.
Wow.
1 to the back of Todd and 1 to the face of Todd.
Oh boy.
So it is it's
over.
It's 2 shotgun blasts from short range. Now after the shooting, that's when he gives the safe deposit key. The doctor gives the safe deposit key over to the sheriff that he was given by Pagano that has the tape conversation and all that kind of shit in it. He also, at this point, gives statements to law enforcement officers, Pagano does, of what occurred in the garage. Now he's talking to the sheriff here, and the sheriff comes over, and they are consoling Pagano.
Really?
They're not looking at it like, hey, this is a crime scene.
I'm so sorry.
They're coming over. They're making drinks.
Billy, I'm so sorry.
They're making him drink. They're mixing him fucking drinks.
Yeah.
The sheriff is mixing the guy who just shot somebody drinks,
Making
and they're
him
talking
hard.
about it. It's crazy. This is some small town fuckery like never before here. He says that that Todd came in carrying a bottle of mineral water and the typewritten list in the picture. And Pagano said that Todd had a handgun tucked in his waistband of his pants. And Pagano said when he returned to the garage with the shotgun, he told Todd that he's either arresting him or taking him to a psychiatric facility. Yeah. And he said that Todd screamed, dropped the bottle of mineral water and the list, crouched and moved toward the back of the car parked in the garage. He said that he didn't see Todd's hand on the handgun, but he thought Todd was going over to the back of the car to take cover to shoot at him, like a police position,
like a
basically. Cop. Yeah. So this is his story, and he's like, thought he was shooting me, so I mean, boy, I'm lucky to get out of there with my life, right? Yeah. And the sheriff's like, more martini, another Cosmo. He's fucking pouring him this shit. So
stir it, Burger. Don't shake it.
Good Lord, you fucking bum. You unfucking cultured swine. So at this point, there's the sheriff's department's a joke. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, though, there is a guy there named Wally Gansman who's the chief of detectives there. And he shows up at 3:06 in the afternoon. He goes into the garage, and he gets there, and the sheriff at that point is consoling Bill. And the sheriff doesn't even realize that at that point that the shot is to the back of the dead guy.
Yeah.
Never even looked at that.
Has no idea.
He just heard Bill said, this is what he did, and I shot him. You poor son of a bitch, let me mix you a drink.
He is shot. I will vouch for that.
I see blood.
Yeah.
He's not breathing.
Right.
I have not heard him ask for help or a drink or anything. So I'm going to assume he's dead. haven't checked a pulse or nothing. So Wally Gansman knows the sheriff, and he knows Pagano. He knows all these people too. He knows the medical examiner's a good friend. It's the whole deal. This guy is the guy who suggested, Wally Gansman said, maybe someone outside of Jefferson County should do the autopsy on this case. Yeah. Just maybe the medical, since everybody's...
Maybe this is a tainted pool.
Everybody's kind of buddies. Maybe we should put it outside just for, if nothing else, for just so it doesn't look bad.
Right.
Just above board. Mm-hmm. Let's do that. He said he worked the case thoroughly. He did an investigation here. And he said basically this guy could have very easily just went, yep, all right, self-defense. That's what the sheriff says. Yeah. Well, fuck it. Let's go home and I don't have to worry about this shit. That would have been a lot easier to do. Another guy said that, but as it goes on, he's pursuing leads and he's doing a real investigation on this. It's as these leads start to come in, it starts to look a little suspicious. Number one, like we said, the first shot hit Todd in the back of the head, and the second shot was in his face as he was on the floor. Wow. So that's right there suspicious.
And it's a guaranteeing death.
Oh, yeah.
With a shotgun to the face, it's
and
over.
Then, yeah,
you're not going to survive that.
Well, that was Mafia style. You come up in the last one just to make sure here. Now, they tell two different people have told the police that Tim Todd told them that he was afraid to quit the security company because he knew of murder contracts that Pagano had taken out on people. Uh-huh. So he said he was scared of Pagano. These are people. One of the two people is Patricia, his widow. Yeah. He says it's also and also his former weightlifting partner Francisco Frankie Perkins Jr.
Oh yeah.
They both say that they told police that Todd had told Pagano that Pagano had put pressure on him to marry his daughter Stephanie, and said, look, basically you have to kill your wife. Right. Because you got to marry my daughter now. You've got yourself into this situation. And so Patricia Todd spoke to police within 24 hours of the shooting and told them some shit. She and Perkins both told police. They described how the owner of a rival security company was the victim of a contract killing that was set up to look like a suicide.
Oh, shit.
That's what they claim. They say that Todd told them that the rival's widow took over the business and that it failed shortly afterwards.
Because she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah, she was just trying to keep it going. Patricia Todd told the police at the time that it happened, Tim was not aware of the contract killing. He didn't find out until later when Bill confided in him that he had it done. I don't know the name of the man, but it was set up to look like a suicide, and Bill retained lots of his business. Now, Perkins told police, the bodybuilding partner, quote, I don't know no details on it. All I know is it's backed up by Bill, and I think Tim did the financial situation and the setting up of it. To have it done by somebody so it looked like he shot, I think he shot himself in the head. Now, police say he might have been referring to the death of a guy named Glenn Lodell, who was the former head of a security corporation in St. Louis. And the St. Louis people said that they did rule that a suicide, and they had no plans to reopen the case. So they're like, look,
holy shit,
we cleared that one already.
Yeah.
Most of the time when ink is fucking black, they're not going to turn it back to red.
No.
Let's open up another case. Let's open up a case, especially a case from a few years ago
in St. Louis.
That doesn't count on our clearance rate for this year, because every homicide, they're all based on their clearance rate. That's how they're judged by everybody.
You gotta get it done now.
You don't work on case.
I'm going to reopen some shit.
Fucking if it's an open case, fine, but you don't work on a cleared case generally, especially
in St. Louis.
St. Louis in the early 90s,
Might
which
be
was
a smidge gummed up.
Lots of murders going on. This is crack epidemic. Shit is fucking crazy. So, this is what they're talking about. This is it's insane. So the prosecutor said, so the Patricia, the wife here, Patty Todd, tells Perkins, just Todd and Perkins both told police that Todd was uncomfortable because of recent plans of Pagano to arrange the murder of a second security rival. He had brought that up to his wife. Patricia Todd told police, and there's another man's security company that was overtaking that was getting some of his business, and he had told Tim that he, Bill, and some other men were going to have them killed. And Perkins, the weightlifting partner, said that in the days before Todd died, Todd had told him that he was nervous about meeting being a hitman. And he says, quote, Tim was supposed to get in good enough with the owner of that security company where he'd trust him, meet him anytime, anywhere, to talk. And then he was supposed to meet some guy with some other mafia, some big time mafia guy, to go through the strip search and everything, and then talk to Bill about the hit for Bill. I don't know. Okay. So
it's intense. There's a lot going. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of ins and outs.
Yeah.
But what I'm taking away from it is that when Tim Todd, when he shot himself,
Tim Todd didn't shoot himself.
Didn't he shoot himself when he was working for the police?
Oh yeah. Well, he shot his vest.
Right. So when he did that, the fucking dickbag decided that this guy's a perfect lemming and will do anything I say.
He's an idiot.
He's an idiot. I give him,
he's going to be my Lenny, basically.
Yeah.
He's gonna, we'll give him a little mouse.
Just don't squeeze it too tight.
That's right. He's going to be my Lenny. He's a big guy.
Right.
I can manipulate him.
Treat him like a dummy. He's disposable.
And if anything happens, I can dispose of him.
I really don't like this guy.
No, Pagano's a dick.
He's an asshole.
He's a real asshole. So this basically, he was telling his weightlifting partner and his wife, Todd, before the murder, that rather than he was setting a hit up against his wife, as Pagano claims, he's saying that Pagano was having him meet hitmen to kill security rivals. So there's some different conflicting things.
This is the most cutthroat businessman I've ever heard of.
It's crazy. He's crazy. So a third person interviewed by police the day after the shooting said that Todd had been afraid Pagano would kill him. That was the girl that that Todd was having an affair with, Kristen Caro. She said that Todd had told her that Pagano wanted him in his family to marry his daughter, and that he didn't know how he got in the situation, and that he didn't know how to get out of it. I'm fucking you now. I don't want to fuck her anymore.
She's so young. I can't do this.
Crazy. Caro said, this was a 6-week affair they had here. Basically, him and Caro, and he said that she told police that Todd had disclosed no reasons for his fear of Pagano, but had told her repeatedly, read between the lines. So there was that. Now also, SSI was the beneficiary of 2 insurance policies that insured Todd's life as well.
That makes sense.
Because they're key man insurance policies. They have a big
He's
role.
The vice president.
Exactly. One policy was issued in 85, the second in 86, and the first policy was issued, its face amount was $500,000.
Wow.
And the second, issued by the Prudential Company here, was also $500,000. It provided accidental death benefits of $1 million. So he's got $1.5 million coming to him for this guy dying. Another woman here, Crystal Stewart, she says to police that she observed an argument between Pagano and Todd the day before the murder, that she overheard Pagano curse Todd and say, quote, "It's got to stop and I'll get you for this." And that Todd replied back, quote, "She's a grown woman." So they're apparently arguing about the daughter, about Stephanie, because a jury.
You can't tell me what to do.
I can't. Well, she's a grown fucking woman. Like, it's none of your business. If we break up, you can't force her to marry me. Basically, you're not gonna. You can't pick your goddamn son-in-law. It's just not the way it works. So they question Pagano here. This is great. Missouri Highway Patrol Corporal Joe Swearingen, like Al on Deadwood. That's fucking great. He asked Pagano here, quote, "Why do you think Tim thought you were the kind of person that would hire a hitman?" And Pagano replied, quote, "Because he knew the people that I had known through my ranking days with the police department. He knew that I was friendly with a lot of organized labor people. And, everybody thinks that every Teamster knows 6 hitmen. And sometimes, as much as I loved Tim, he would kind of go in and out of reality with, where do you think Hoffa's a hubcap somewhere?" Weird shit like that. He also said, so then Swearingen repeated the question, "What would have made Tim think that you were the type of person who could have hired a hitman?" And Pagano replied, quote, "Because I loved him."
What?
So he knew that. Why would, if Todd wanted to kill his wife, like you say, why would he come to you to hire a hitman? What would make him think that you'd be the guy to do that?
Because I'm his guy.
Because I'm his guy. I loved him. That's why. He knew I'd do anything for him.
He knows I'm Italian.
He knows. He said, "Hey, this guy, he's got a hitman. He's fucking things." So the shot was to the back of the head, like we said. It's getting pretty fucking silly here. The testimony of also the Dr. Mary Case that the first shot was to the back of the head would have caused an explosion of blood at the time that the first shot hit, and the second shot hit that he was probably already dead. Didn't matter, but making sure here. There now, the sheriff. What does the sheriff have to say about all this? He should be embarrassed.
Oh, Mr. Blueberger himself.
Oh boy, here. Just after the shooting, he said, "Quote." This is about Pagano. He's a hell of a gun collector and one of the finest chiefs of police Festus ever had. Festus ever had.
I keep thinking it too.
Yeah, I know.
Time you say
there's just a metal pole in the middle of town. He said, quote, when he became police chief, women were afraid to walk down the street in Festus.
What?
Mid-70s small town Missouri, apparently you couldn't even walk down the street before this guy came in. Wow.
He made equality happen.
Whoa. When he left, that was no longer the case. Bill Pagano is a top-notch law enforcement officer and a top-notch businessman. That's what he said after.
And gun collector.
And he's a gun collector. Also, so the prosecutor decide, though, the sheriff calls the killing justifiable. The sheriff's department says it's justifiable, and then the prosecutor says, you know what, we don't think so. We're gonna go for murder. The sheriff said that he was, quote, stunned by that. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
What did the medical examiner say, Mr. Blueberger?
Yeah, still, I know the guy. What are you kidding me? I know the guy. So yeah, he told. Now it's coming out
murder. He's a gun collector.
Now it's coming out, too, that the sheriff, signed off on the plan of, I'm going to get him psychiatric help or bring him in myself.
Right.
Whatever. So he's starting to look like a fucking idiot here. Really, really big idiot at this point. He really is here. Swingle, who's the prosecutor, he says that the highway patrolman Gansman made the decision to get outside help, and he called him a hero for that. He said that he was not another one of the good old boys, the medical examiner, because at this point, the medical examiner was also making drinks with the sheriff.
He was at the place making drinks.
He came to the place and was making drinks with the suspect.
Way out there. Is that old-fashioned?
That's what's going on here.
That's my shit.
Think about this. We've had the forest ranger. Dude, we've had the forest ranger come in. We've had the fucking mayor come in. And this is worse.
We've had the Canadian Royal County Police come down to Florida.
Yeah. No, we've never goddamn had the medical examiner mixing drinks with the suspect at the fucking murder scene while the sheriff looks on and fucking says salute. What the hell is going on? Jesus Christ.
This is wild.
This is insanity. So I don't even know what to do here. This is nuts. So also different things start to come out. Berger's been the sheriff for 27 years.
That's a lot.
So if you're sheriff for 27 years, you have some skeletons, probably. Earlier in the year, his department had scandals about missing evidence and stolen guns, phony inspection stickers that they were giving out for cars, and drugs allegedly being delivered to inmates at the county jail for a fee. Wow. But all of it basically got pushed aside as, quote, poor management rather than criminal fucking pushing. So the sheriff, though, he was in the middle of all this type of shit, which is insane, and nobody cared. It was just like, well, that's fine. Small town sheriff, he can do what he wants. So this whole thing goes to trial in September of 1991. The whole thing goes to trial. And the craziest thing in this trial, the first day of the trial, the sheriff walks in.
No.
And the sheriff...
He shows up?
Yeah, the sheriff's got to show up for the trial.
He knows that this shit is... If he's there, it looks bad?
It's crazy for him to show up because he's friends with the defendant. So he shouldn't be allowed to oversee the proceedings.
Right.
Because even cops that are witnesses aren't allowed to see shit that's not... they're not allowed to be in there for other witnesses because it'll influence your testimony.
The other point is just that if he's there, the prosecutor knows everything that he's done that's bad. Yeah. Nothing he's going to say is going to help.
The other thing is when the sheriff shows up, there's sides of the courtroom. It's like a wedding.
Oh, Jesus.
The sheriff
sit on his side.
The sheriff does not sit on the defendant's side of the courtroom. He sits on the state. He walked in and just automatically sat down
right behind him
on the defendant's side. Then he looked around, got up, and moved to the other side. Oh, shit, I can't be here.
what have I done?
I was just going with all my buddies. This is fucking crazy. So he ends up sitting on one of the sides of the aisle there behind the prosecution table. The families and friends were all there also. It was a big deal, this trial, because he's a real, this is the most crazy trial they've had in this town probably ever. It's a packed courthouse. The prosecutor comes up. He says in his argument here, he says that this case is an example of what's wrong with law enforcement in some parts of the country, in places like Jefferson County. It's who you are, it's who you know, who you are, how much money you have. William Nick Pagano shoots somebody in the back of the head, then shoots him in the face as he's lying on the ground. Is he going to be prosecuted? Not if his friend, the Lord High Sheriff, has anything to do with it.
Lord High Sheriff.
In a recording, Pagano called him the Lord High Sheriff at one point. So they used it back on him there. So there's that.
Oh, that's a burner. He's like, they listen to my tape.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Shit, I heard it. So then he goes off into another direction, and because the defense is that Pagano was afraid of Todd because Todd was on steroids. Yeah. So he was fearful of him, and that's why he brought the shotgun out, and things just got out of hand. So the prosecutor says that he wants to talk about steroids. He talks about how much steroid talk the defense wants to talk about. They had 2 doctors testify about the dangers of steroids as well for the defense here. And they said, the prosecutor says, but the bottom line is that just because a person is on steroids does not give you the right to shoot him in the back of the head and then in the face when he's down. Right. True. Yeah. Also, a doctor testified, this is in 1991, that there were about 1 million steroid users in the United States, that about 20% of college athletes were on steroids. 96% of pro football players have been on steroids at some point. This is what a doctor testified to. And 6.6% of high school males have been on steroids. Okay. So that's what I just thought those were interesting
those
statistics.
Numbers have gone through the roof.
Oh, I know. Now it's 185% of NFL players have used steroids. So, they said the guy basically is supposed to be so crazed and dangerous on steroids and so uncontrollable and out of control. Why would the gun that Todd was carrying was issued to him by the security company? So why would you let him walk around being an armed security person for your company if you were so scared of him being a violent, dangerous monster here, which is kind of,
Also, why would you do it on your own if you're so scared of the man? Why don't you let the sheriff handle it?
Yeah, call the Buck.
He's the Lord High Sheriff.
He could do anything he wants.
But he makes soap float.
You want to come over here and try out my daughter's gas, Sheriff, too? Because, you know what? This he's not doing what he should with it. I'm going to tell you that right now. So they talk about another person comes in, a witness talks about an argument that they witnessed between Tim Todd and Stephanie Pagano 2 weeks before the murder. That apparently it was at the gym, and this woman watched it from the gym. She said, when I looked out the window, I could see Stephanie upright against Tim, right up against him forcefully. You could tell she was very upset, and she was pointing her finger in his chest, and he was pointing down at her, shaking his finger at her. So they were just pointing at each other. And she said that she was pushing up against him and pointing at him like this. And she said that it was about 5 minutes long, this went on. So the jury also heard other testimony about Pagano's how he's so in with elected officials, and that there's evidence that Pagano tried to give a political contribution to the prosecuting attorney of Jefferson County 4 days before the killing. 4 days before the killing.
That is super premeditated.
That is crazy. Yeah. There was evidence that he had previously promised to have friends make contributions to the prosecuting attorney that was actually prosecuting this case, and that he had given contributions to other county office holders, including both political rivals in one election, just to hedge his bets.
Just in case who wins.
Hey, who knows? He also contributed to candidates of both parties on the state level as well, which a lot of companies do that. Yeah. They contribute to everybody. You never know. Yeah. In a tape-recorded statement that he gave the deputy sheriff, he stated that he used his influence to help the medical examiner, the sheriff, the prosecutor, or any of those type of people to obtain a job. He says he told of contributing to the county court members, and he said, and before all this happened, I probably had about as much influence influence on things like that around here as most anybody else did. I don't know how much I got, but I don't know how much I got anymore. But so that was the end of his statement. But basically, I used to run shit.
Right.
I gave everybody money. I put a lot of people in their jobs.
Right.
People owe me favors.
Yeah.
Is what he's getting at. Now his wife testifies as well. Not his wife. Patricia Todd testifies. So they talk about how she had met Tim Todd in the parking lot at one point and had a conversation. And she said after work, he met me in the back parking lot by my car, and he told me that he didn't want to divorce me, but if we were to live in Jefferson County, he was told by Bill Pagano that he would have to marry his daughter, Stephanie Pagano, and that he didn't. And if he didn't, that Bill said, Bill said he would kill him. So
I'll kill you if you don't marry
my daughter. You have befouled my daughter.
Yeah.
You have planted thine seed in thy gash, and now it is
useless to any other man.
There you go. So that's basically what he's saying.
Shit?
He's doing some weird medieval shit where he's got you've touched it, now you got to marry her. Sorry. And so you have to
go down on her. You licked it.
You have to divorce your wife.
Yeah.
And that's a rule that really is anything. If you lick something, it's yours. Usually people will let you have it at that point. Most of the time they'll go, well, that's yours.
Yeah.
It's different with women, though. They have their own say in things because, they're humans.
Yeah, that's
a different story. So, it's strange how that shit works.
Some countries, and a few of them. So, not in rural Missouri, apparently. No. That's a different story. In rural Missouri, your father forces a man under threat of murder to divorce his wife and leave his children to marry your daughter. It's super fucking weird. So, that's what he told him. This would have been, she says, about the 16th or the 18th of January in 1990. Okay. So 2 months before this. And she said that he looked very pale and very upset while she said that. While Todd told her that. Now, the defense attorney, his whole thing is that, he said, listen, it was a smooth move. He was trying to take his friend in. He didn't want his friend to get bum rushed by the cops. He was trying to take the guy. Right. He's trying to help the guy out. Gentleman.
And he's going through a hard time, and his thoughts aren't all together because he's on so much steroids that he doesn't know what to do. Of course he's going to kill his wife. The lawyer said, quote, was it wise to be there? That's not the question. He goes, the question is what happened. It's he said, did the sheriff do anything to protect Patty, to protect, Todd's wife? No. And he was saying this is a incompetence on everyone's part, but not my client who just shot a guy in the fucking head twice.
He's trying to do the best thing for everybody.
For everybody. Right. That's the thing. So after all this, there's some cloud in the waters. Mm-hmm. They're trying to get him on first-degree murder, but there are lesser, too. There's a second degree and all that sort of thing. So this goes to the jury, and it comes back guilty of second-degree murder.
Why?
Second-degree murder, because they're the premeditation, which to me, if it's not premeditated, you can't even say he did it.
Yeah, but
to me, the premeditation is all of it. It's definitely premeditated. If it happened, it was premeditated.
If there was a contribution attempted to be made 4 days before that murder to a man who is going to prosecute anybody that murders him,
that's the thing.
That's premeditation.
Not only that, he set up everything. He set it all up ahead of time. Right. It's fucking
giving
crazy.
Keys to people.
Yeah, second degree murder.
It's nuts.
That's a jury just hedging their bets and being like, look, I'm not confident enough, and I don't want to give him first degree.
I want this to stick.
Yeah, well, maybe that's part of it too. So January 1992 is the sentencing of this. By the way, do not turn this off. Stick around till the end because this shit gets crazier. Not even close to where we're going to end up, okay? So January 1992 is sentencing, and he's saying that his statement isn't of, contrition. His statement is of this is ridiculous. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
The judge, on the other hand, has other things to say. Yeah. He says, you, sir, may fuck off 23 years in prison.
Okay.
He gives him for second-degree murder. But with a huge but.
Oh, boy.
While he appeals, and this is usually for like a lower level case or a white collar case.
He can be out?
While he appeals, he is allowed to get bail.
What?
They allow.
Fuck.
He's convicted of second-degree murder. This isn't of assault or like a robbery this is second-degree murder.
And he's allowed out on bail.
His bail is set at $250,000, which he has no problem. Super affordable for him. He is allowed out on bail during appeal, which for a murder case, Nuts.
That's wild.
Nuts. And in a couple years, as we'll talk about, September of 1993, the state puts an end to that shit. It's a new law pushed for by the Attorney General at that time, Jay Nixon.
Who heard about this shit?
Well, it only affects a couple people here. He said that this Nixon said jurors, victims, and their relatives shouldn't have to be concerned about meeting the convicted felon out on the street during the appeal. I guess a couple of these, like this guy, when Pagano's out, he's not like hanging out in his house.
No.
He's not.
He's just living his life.
No. He's making an extra spectacle.
Wow.
He's going downtown, going to the nicest restaurants.
Oh, my God.
Making sure he's seen, ordering expensive wine. I mean, he's acting like I am fine. I'm
Dapper Don.
Fucking great.
Teflon Don.
Teflon Dapper Don. Yeah, both. So, yeah, that's how he's acting. He's acting like a fucking mobster. Is absolutely what he's acting like. This really only affects a couple of people that are out on this, but this would be the change in the law closes the loophole that allowed violent criminals who could afford bond to walk the streets until the appeals process. Nixon says there's simply no justification for special treatment of these violent criminals. The jury, which is being asked to make the tough calls, and the victims and their families should not have to contend with the worry of meeting these people on the street. This affects mainly Pagano and one other person who's out on this particular thing. But yeah, this puts an end to, it's like murder and felony assaults and aggravated armed robberies and shit like that. They fall under the not allowed to get bail category if you're convicted. Not if you're
under suspicion
or not. If you're arrested, you can get bail, but not you're convicted by a jury and you go, well, I'm going to appeal, and appeals take fucking years.
Yeah,
he's out for 3 years.
Holy shit.
Living his life, dude. I'm talking having a hell of a life here. And then finally, he's in 94, he gets his appeal, and he is telling everybody that, yep, new trial right around the corner. Obviously going to get a new trial. This is bullshit, everything like that. His main complaints are, he's got a few: ineffective assistance of counsel, yada, yada. But his main ones are that he's mad that the prosecutor's statements were allowed in, saying that this is the statement he has a problem with. And the message needs to be sent that no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter who you know, you can't get away with murder, is what he said. He's saying that this is wrong. That's inflammatory. He said that, Jesus Christ, man. He said that this notion that whether you are going to be arrested, whether you're going to be prosecuted, whether you're going to be convicted of a crime, depends on who you are, who you know, how much money you have, he says that basically that was prejudice against him.
Yeah.
Saying that, you couldn't say like that about a poor person, is what he said. That's his type of thing here.
And also OJ.
Yeah. But then he also talks about shooting people and, talks about when he shot him on the ground and shit like that.
So he's saying the prosecutor went too far with what he said.
He said the argument of the special prosecutor was purposeful to bias the jury against the defendant because he was rich and influential, which in this day and age is not a position of public admiration. Yeah. No one is... Fuck off. Jesus Christ. Yeah. You're so hated. Yeah. You have to sit in your tower while people try to kill you. Yeah.
They've seen my 15-room place, and they're all pissed at me now.
The argument was not an argument for the need of law enforcement or for honest law enforcement. The argument was a get the rich argument, which it really wasn't. It was for get the corrupt argument.
Right.
It was for you can't buy your way out of shit, and he has systematically tried to buy his way out of this by trying to give a goddamn prosecutor money 4 fucking days before he killed somebody. The court did not agree with that one. They heard tape-recorded statements of Pagano from interviews conducted by the deputy sheriff and everything, where he acknowledged attempting to use political influence to obtain favors and all that sort of shit. He also told the deputy sheriff of assisting Tim Todd in obtaining a loan through a special contact he knew in Congress. He said he wasn't going to get that SBA loan for that gym until I twisted a congressman's arm to intercede on his behalf. So he talks, they're saying that he's bragging all the time about how he influences people with money. So we're saying that's not going to get you off of murder charges. He also says that during recess of the trial, several jurors overheard a woman named Brenda Todd say, that's one of his relatives, say that she thought the case was pretty cut and dry dried. Jurors who heard the remark repeated it to the bailiff, and the trial court dismissed Mrs. Todd. She wasn't a relative of this Todd. Her name just happens to be Todd. Okay. She was a juror, and questioned the remaining jurors about whether statements had been made about the case in their presence. And the trial court, they made an inquiry here, and they determined that the jurors, other than the alternate juror who made the remark, could remain fair and impartial and kept in. They're saying that 4 jurors, the defense is saying 4 jurors heard Brenda Todd's statement, and that means this all should be thrown out.
It's all a sham.
One juror said it's pretty cut and dried, so the whole thing's over. They said that the 4th said that 3 of them said they didn't know which way that this juror decided. She didn't say it's cut and dried. That guy definitely did it.
Right.
She just said it's cut and dried. So
that's a good point.
3 out of the 4 said, I don't know which way she thought it was cut and dried for. She just said it was cut and dried. And then the 4th one said that she understood that Miss Todd believed the defendant was guilty but she also said that she wanted to make up her own mind and that she wasn't influenced by this lady saying it was cut and dried. Okay. So it wasn't really affected. The defendant had moved to strike all the jurors who heard the remark, and it was denied, and then they requested a mistrial, and that was also denied there. So now appeals come, he's got all these different things. He denied requests for mistrials, and he really, really wants a new trial here. They come back with a verdict here. New trial denied.
Oh, shit.
No new trial, but you do get prison.
Yeah.
You can go there.
Go to jail, sir.
But not right now.
No?
You're not remanded.
Why?
Somehow, even though the appeal...
What the fuck is happening?
Even though the appeal is exhausted, he is allowed to... He's not taken right away there. No. He's not Harvey Weinstein.
No.
Where Harvey Weinstein got convicted, they took his ass away in cuffs.
Right.
And he left.
Oh, it's going to be much longer than whatever it is that you're staying in jail right now.
That's it.
Right.
Whereas this, they let him go. They let him... Because somehow... This court didn't have jurisdiction over his bail because that was from a different court. It's a weird thing. So those were separate things, his bail and the appeal.
Who gives a shit about his bail?
It's well, that office who issued his bail, they would have to go to revoke the bail and get him basically to take him to jail. The appeals court's just saying the appeal is over. They don't have anything to do with the actual remanding of the prisoner.
We don't sentence anybody. We just tell you whether or not this trial was
some
fine.
fair shit or not. Now. He is 47 years old at this point. They're saying that he's got 23 years. He's going to do 13 and get paroled. So he's going to be 60. He's going to come out 60 years old, still having some money.
A little bit of shame.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole time this asshole will use this to his, he'll boast about it. I'm falsely convicted, and he'll make a big deal out of it. Oh my God,
a security company will crush. I'm an Italian with a record for murder. Yeah. I'll protect the fuck out of you.
Yeah, you don't even know. So August, you don't even know. Fuck out of here. August 23rd, 1994, finally an arrest warrant or a warrant is issued to go get him. Okay, so the sheriffs, they show up at his house with a warrant for his arrest. He opens the door, and he was in shorts, a T-shirt, and slippers when he opened the door. Pagano was. He said, quote, to the sheriff's, quote, where do we go from here? Like, what's going on here? And they said they had to take him to the county jail in Hillsborough and to the Department of Corrections for, to see where he ends up going. And he says, well, do you mind if I change my clothes? I don't want to fucking leave in my slippers. Can I change my, whatever. Can I have some dignity here? Like, change my clothes, get a couple of things with me. And so they said, yeah, sure. And they all know the guy, number one. They all treat him very casually. Right. Nobody has guns drawn. Nobody has.
No one even has their hands on their hips.
No one's holding him by the arm or anything. He's just free to wander around his house. They're just like, yeah, you're gonna come on, but like you were picking somebody up to go to the mall, like very casual. They said, quote, at no time was he out of our sight or out of arm's reach. He was very cooperative and congenial. They said that handcuffs didn't even seem. They weren't even going to cuff him. They were just going to let him get in the car and take him. Weren't even planning on cuffing him.
In the front seat.
Yeah, they said, quote, I didn't think he was a flight risk. He's not going anywhere. We know who he is. It's fine. Not to mention, he's got MS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got MS, and he walks with a cane sometimes. So they said at this point he was walking with a cane.
Poor bastard.
So, yeah, Pagano's, he's not getting around the house. It's not like he's going to run away across the lawn with a cane.
That shit's going to get so bad in prison.
Well, stress is bad for you. So he said when he stood up, I thought he was going to fall. Like, that's how he's not real sturdy. So we didn't think of him as like, he's going to start punching us or run away. So they let him up into, they walk with him, but I mean, he walks up into his bedroom, and they said he has a large, like a big dressing closet there, and his wife helped him get dressed in the closet. His wife Eileen was there, helped him get dressed, and then they stood outside the doorways of the bathroom in the closet while this was going on. The one police officer was about 7 to 10 feet from him. He goes in. Pagano goes in. Comes out of the closet. He's got a dresser. This cop about 7 feet away. Pagano goes to get socks out. He's got socks and underwear, like an underwear drawer. And he reaches in. He pulls out socks and he pulls out underwear and all that shit. And he also pulls out a snub nose 357.
Oh no!
And puts it to his temple and blows his fucking brains out in his own bedroom. Done. That's
awesome.
it. 357 to the temple, one motion.
Unbelievable.
Cops never saw it coming. They literally said they couldn't even get it was just
He mafia snubbed himself.
He just picked it out, gun to the head before they could say a fucking word. He was done.
Wild.
On the floor. Brains on the wall. That was that. Everywhere. One motion. So 5 cops are right there. Couldn't stop it.
What the fuck just happened?
The county sheriff, Glenn Boyer, said, quote, "It was spontaneous. We had no time to react." Yeah. You probably should have cuffed him.
Yeah.
If he's a prisoner, maybe if you didn't know him and treat him like a fucking...
It doesn't matter what you wear to the place. They're just going to put you in orange anyway.
Either way, I assume... I don't know if it's just me saying this, but if it was me that was being dragged to... I don't feel like they'd let me wander around my house with no handcuffs and get changed and go pick shit out. I don't think they would do that. I think they just come and get me and drag me the fuck away like they would any poor people. They just drag them away. They don't fucking say, "Oh yeah, no, get changed." Yeah, talk to your wife. Get some... You want to get comfy socks, definitely.
What do you want to bet this was... This could go even deeper. What do you want to bet he discussed this with somebody? He was like, I'm just going to fucking end it. Don't worry. I won't run.
One guy who knew him that was a police officer said, "I imagine his pride probably made him do it. I don't think he ever could have handled really going behind bars." Another current police chief said he described Pagano's deeds as a, quote, Greek drama with everything on a tragic course.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. Also, they talk about that he was vain. He didn't want to go to prison. He would rather deprive his wife and family of a husband and a father instead of serving time he owed the state of Missouri. That's what the prosecutor said. The prosecutor also said, "I just feel he was a very proud man and, in my opinion, a very bad man.
He owes me a debt.
He owes me a lot." Sheriff Berger said he didn't know why his friend killed himself. Buck said he doesn't understand it. He says, quote, "He was very optimistic that he would get a new trial. I'm sure he didn't want to go to prison. I guess he thought this was his best way out." Now, as far as Terry Todd goes, Terry Todd said, quote, "I'm not sorry to see him go. He had a choice to live or die. He didn't give my brother that choice. I think prison would have been the perfect punishment for a man of his arrogance."
Attaboy, Terry.
There you go. Now, back to this. Lisa, his daughter, is married to now Judge Ed Page. Okay, remember Page? It was a intern for. Okay. Now they're the ones who run the security company. It's now Global Security. It was, at least as of 2013. And it's owned by, he's a Jefferson County Associate Circuit Court judge, the son-in-law Page. Takes control of the business in 92 after the murders charged and everything like that. In 2013, this company here, they found out overcharged the St. Louis Parks Department $285,000 over a matter of years. But when they found out, the feds refused to prosecute. They instead claimed that the firm itself had been duped by city workers.
Wow.
Meanwhile, they're the ones that got the money. So
Judge Page is a dick.
Pretty interesting. Two St. Louis Parks Department officials pleaded guilty in 2013 and got light prison sentences out of it. And Global Security and 2 other contractors avoided prosecution on the scam. And I'm sure they probably knew about it. But the attorney said, quote, "We believed they had been duped." They said it was an embezzlement by high-ranking city employees, netting a total of nearly $500,000 from the Parks Department there. Page was elected on the Republican ticket as Associate Circuit County Judge in Jefferson County. And, it's there. And also his wife is a jurist, Lisa Page here. She is appointed to the Missouri Court of Appeals by Jay Nixon, who was the guy who revoked bail for violent criminals.
Awesome.
Which is funny. He became governor.
Right.
And then,
she works for him.
She ends up working for him.
Wild.
And then Page. So basically, she works for him, and this comes out, and then they don't get prosecuted. And so Who knows?
Man,
there is so much finger fucking in this entire thing.
Everybody's got a finger in their ass.
It's so ridiculous. Everybody get the fingers out of your gashes and fucking pay attention to your jobs. Mark Timothy Todd is buried in the Herculaneum Cemetery in Herculaneum, Jefferson County, Missouri there. He was 33 when he died. And somebody left on his Find a Grave memorial thing, somebody left this that was just fucking brutal. Somebody said, quote, "The old adage applies here. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. It may simply mean you should water your own lawn."
Wow.
That's a shitty thing to say. As true as it is, it's also shitty. He's dead and it's fucked up. I don't know. I thought that was shitty that someone had to take a shot at him.
Lawn, Tim.
Yeah, you fucking idiot. That's not cool, man.
Wow.
So, that is the story of Festus, Missouri.
My God.
And that is the Todds, Paganos / Holy Shitanos. That's a mess.
It really went down in Festus.
Gross. The whole place is gross. But that's one of those that's just like a surprise. I love those surprise endings like that where you're like, you don't expect that shit.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. It's a twisty one.
Is that our first one where the person, while being arrested, kills themselves?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I mean, the guy across the street.
Yeah. I usually, that bonus episode, I usually stay away from the suicide by arrest because usually they're being arrested for the initial time.
Yeah.
So then you just get, you don't get the whole story. You don't get to talk to him. You don't get to find what happened. You don't get an investigation. You just get this happened. He's dead. Oh, well.
Right.
So the stories are too short to do that.
Great.
But this isn't, usually they're out on bail and have access to 357s when you're convicted for murder. You're convicted for murder. You're allowed to have weapons in your fucking house. At that point, you're convicted of murder.
Right.
With a gun.
Why
you're not allowed to have anything anymore. He should have to cut his fucking meat with a fork. Are you kidding me? Fuck out of here. You're not allowed to have that.
You should have to fashion a knife out of a twig.
Sporks only, sir, for the rest of your time. So that is Festus, Missouri. It's a little green. It's a little infected, but that's okay. Check that out. We're glad that you did. And if you like that show, I know how you can tell us about it.
You can?
You can go over to that purple icon on Apple Podcasts there. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions, following directions. Also, that helps a lot on Stitcher as well. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for all things crime and sports and small town murder. Listen to Crime and Sports, especially this week, Anthony Rumble Johnson, if you want to hear Jimmy laugh so hard he pukes.
What a story.
At a Italian man who sings songs. You'll enjoy that a lot. Check all that out. Also, new merchandise constantly all over the place. Not to mention tickets to live shows. Holy shit. March 13th and 14th. Come see us in San Francisco. Different shows both nights too, guys. Right. If you've been wondering, is that the same? Different shows. Come Friday, come Saturday too. Also, Detroit. Those tickets are going fast at the Royal Oak Music Theater in Detroit on the 27th. Cincinnati at Bogart's on the 28th of March. Those are going fast. Or sold out in Zanies, but Austin and Oklahoma City, May 8th and 9th, there are some tickets left for those, but less than 100. So I know those are almost done there, so get those. Boston's just about sold out. New York, man, you guys are coming up on it fast. Yeah. Get your tickets right now for New York, because those are going to go fast. And then, what the hell? Get them for the summer, New York, or New Orleans, Atlanta. Come see us, goddammit. Also, all over Texas, San Antonio, get your shit together.
We're going to cover you.
New Orleans, buy some fucking tickets. Do your thing out there. Come see us all over the place. We can't wait. Follow us on social media for information on new shows we might be having, like the one in October at the Tempe Improv. Yeah. That's brand new on the list. So follow us on social media. We are at Murder Small on Twitter. I almost did it backwards. And then we are at Small Town Pod on Facebook.
That's true.
And at Small Town Murder.
There you go.
On Instagram. That's where the fuck we are. God damn it. And so that's all wonderful. And if you want to be a hero of ours, an even bigger hero, and if you want to get bonus material, like the episode that's going to come out this Friday, another weird little Missouri case, and they'll come out about every 2 weeks, you can do that very easily by going over to patreon.com/crimeandsports, or head over to PayPal and use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. We're so appreciative of everything. And on those Patreons, it's a $5 $5 and above level. If you do those, we're going to be doing crime and sports bonus stuff too. So if you like both, you're going to get both of those. It's not like it's $5 for one show, $5 for the other.
No.
That's bullshit. It's us. It's all going to us.
Yeah.
Whatever. You can have it all.
So it's all going to you.
It's all going to you. That's what I'm saying. So with that said, I think I need to hear the names of these people. They're going to warm my heart.
There's so many.
And I haven't slept in like a week, so I need to be warmed, Jimmy. Warm my heart right now with the names of the most wonderful people in the world. Hit me with them.
This week's executive producers are Melissa Turner, Melissa Sparks, yes, Darren Foreman, Tanya Volanek, Jordan Bennett, Brittany Batter, Annalise Garland, Justin Tolentino, Jason Kluga, and Melissa Cooper. That's 3 Melissas.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Melissas and everyone
Truly.
else. Thank you.
Other producers this week are John Stewart, Amanda Knight, Sarah Messink, Heather Hall, Tegan Boyko, Capri Bailey. That must be opposite, right? There's nobody that's first name is Capri.
Capri?
Oh, is that Capri?
How's
Maybe it is. Khepre. You fucking nail it.
Whoa, I don't know. Maybe Capri? Oof,
Probably not.
Probably not.
Heather Ehrlich, Tina Sanchez, Thomas Smith, Ashley Vio, Caitlin Taylor, Katie with no last name, Jessica Christensen, Shelley Roberts, Lovins Amy. Probably not. Jesse with no last name. Jennifer Prater. Shelley Roberts. I said that. Desiree Norman. Leroy. Is it? No, it's Larry Butterfast. And his sweet stash. He grew a mustache and he's documenting his beard growth.
Sweet man.
Kara Forney. Peyton Meadows. Ben Solnier. Is that? Yeah, I think that's right. Diane Wall. Tori Tuchillo. Brooke Gay. Robin Anderson. Elizabeth Minton. Crystal Walker. Taylor James, James Martyr, Raul Segala, Savannah Bender, Stephanie D'Angelo, Jackie Sukup, Krister? Is it Chris? No, it's Christy R.
There you go.
I think that.
Not Krister.
No, it might be Chrysler. Matt Campbell, Robin Anderson, I said that. Janice Hill, Susanna Platt, Brandon Smith, Dylan Irish. Dylan likes to play the scratcher games, and then when he wins, he sends us the money.
Why, thank you.
It's fucking awesome.
Good luck, Dylan.
Go make $1 million, Dylan.
Yeah.
Andrew Welmers, Amanda and Steven, Mandy Peterson, Douglas Porter, Justin Lloyd, Jordan Baca, Aaron Edrington, Jillian Whitson. Yeah, Derek Stowell, I think that's what it is. Michael Powell, Ashley George, Carmen Macchiondo. No, I stumbled on Macchiondo. No. Carmen, thank you. John Herndon, Stephen Rude, Adrian with no last name, Stacy Worth Bastion, Anita Martinez, Lauren Flores, Gary Howard, thanks Gary, Ronnie Kumar, Joshua Nicholson, Ellie Bohan, I think it is. Michael Moyes, like Muay Thai, that kind of Muay. Nathan Davidson, Faith McLean, David Jubert, Cassandra Ellen, Jamie J, Sarah Coleman, Diablo Conqueso, Carol Rafferty, Shannon Lafferty. No, what? Is that right? Both people back to back? Like, that's wild. Nathan, no, it's Nolan Stout. Tim Reynolds, Fritz Olson. Sorry, Fritz. Jack Cornelius, Aaron Edrington. I said that. He donated twice. Thank you. Casey Taylor, Teresa Petway. Paul Ruest donated again. Thank you, Paul. Charles Carpenter, Penny Sizglarski. Nope, probably not. Rich Beck, Jerry Paul, Kay Hagel, Kay Haig. Hagge. I don't know. Elizabeth Dibble, Rob's daughter, obviously.
Clearly.
Emily Kokesh, Sean and Laura Dunafin. Yep. Brendan McCrate, Christine Dale. No, that's Day. D-A-Y-E. Rich Beck, I said that. Jerry Paul, Casey Huffman, Octavia Cruz, Kip Sousley, Kelly Justice, Dave Justice's daughter.
Well, obviously, all the players. That's good. Thanks, guys.
Andrew Ebel, Kevin Martinez, Paul, that's what. See, this is Paul Del Real, and with the two Del Real, it makes me want to say Powell.
Yeah, I got
that's what I'm doing.
All right.
Rhett Stern, Howard's nephew. Brittany Herzog, Shayla Dawn,
Whitey's niece. That is Whitey Herzog's niece.
Andrew Roberts, Jake Gills. Yeah. No, Giles. Shit. Scott. Never mind. I was going to say Scott. That's Giles.
He's the nephew of the guy with the band.
Right.
Jay Giles' nephew.
Brian Lorette, I think. Lisa Lubert, Carly Lorenzo, Amy Pohanic. Thank you, Amy.
Thanks, Amy.
It was good to see you in Denver also.
Definitely.
Lynette Campbell, Juan Suarez, Chris Hansen. No, Hassan.
Oh,
Sorry.
damn.
Have a seat right over there. Jess Hernandez,
Manny
Sierra, Margaret Busavi, and Julie Small. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for us and all of our Patreon supporters. You guys are truly amazing.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Indeed.
Honestly, we can't do that without you. We can't do any of this without you. And we're really just grateful of everything that you do for us. And what if people were grateful for something that you do for them? How could they do that?
You can tell me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Thank you guys for all the birthday gifts and birthday words. And somebody from the Mardi Gras, they have a Mardi Gras float, the Endymion?
I don't know. It's said with a French accent.
Endymion. I don't.
Who
They
knows?
sent us so much Mardi Gras
Thank you.
shit.
We got lots of Mardi Gras
rad.
stuff, so we're
the amount of you guys
excited.
that really have done unbelievable things for us. I can't believe it. I really can't. And thank you guys very much. Where can I find you?
You can find me at Jimmy P is Funny, or just copy and paste my name from the show description and put it down so you don't have to bother yourself or hurt your head trying to spell it. That said, keep doing that. Come back next week. Look out for the bonus show on Patreon tomorrow, and I will get some sleep for next week's show, and it'll be wonderful. So,
right.
With that said, until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus